station in Pretoria yesterday following a request by IDEC. But when they arrived, they were told by investigators that senior IDEC officials had directed them not to carry out the alleged warrant of arrest. It's not clear why they were called in for questioning and what specific matters the NPA is investigating against them. Alfred Mushwana has more.
KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwana.
Clear why they were called in for questioning and what specific matters the NPA is investigating against them. Alfred Mushwana has more.
KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwana says he first heard through a friend earlier this week that IDEC was planning to arrest him. He says he did not take the information seriously until his close friend and crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo was instructed to present himself for questioning.
We're not saying that we are immune from being investigated. If there are things we did wrong, by all means. So if you are administering justice, you've got a warrant of arrest to a person, arrest a person.
Khumalo's lawyer, James Ndebele, says IDEC is playing games with his client.
It's embarrassing for my clients to be put at great expense, to have an attorney instructed to attend the police station with them at the request of IDEC, only for IDEC not to pitch.
Mkhwana says IDEC now has to explain why it failed to arrest him and Khumalo despite claiming to have a warrant of arrest. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Chairperson of Parliament's Impeachment Committee, Makashule Gana, says its work will continue despite legal threats to halt proceedings. The committee yesterday resolved to oppose President Cyril Ramaphosa's application to the Western Cape High Court to put the process on hold. Gana says the committee will stick to its schedule to meet next week and determine its terms of reference. He also says that they'll discuss the appointment of an evidence leader for the inquiry that will investigate matters related to US dollars that were stored and then stolen from the president's farm in 2020. Lindsay Dentlinger reports.
President Cyril Ramaphosa wants the impeachment committee to hold off on its inquiry until the court has reviewed the parliamentary report that has given rise to its establishment. The ANC's attempt to convince the committee to abide by a court ruling rather than to oppose the application failed to gain traction. BOSA leader Musi Maimane said failing to oppose the application would set a bad precedent.
We would then set up a situation where in future another member of the executive faced with similar or different circumstances could be reliant on saying, I could interdict the work of Parliament.
Committee Chairperson Makashule Gana says the committee will not be derailed by pending legal proceedings.
We are going to focus on the things that are in our control. What's in our control is to get the process on the go.
The committee will have to file its intention to oppose the application by the end of today, with the case set to be heard on the 15th of July. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The Malawian government says it cannot be held accountable for how its citizens entered South Africa illegally. Home Affairs confirmed recently that at least 10,000 Malawians in Durban were in the country without the correct documents, while some were without papers. They were transported to their home country through buses yesterday after camping at the Sherwood Hall for more than a week. When asked about the matter, Malawi's High Commissioner to South Africa, Stella Ndau, had this to say.
I think this question is better answered by the South African government. The Home Affairs and other people, other different stakeholders will be the best to respond to this question.
And hope has been revived among Bafana supporters after they played a 1-1 draw against Czechia in their FIFA World Cup clash in the US. Emotions were high in Randburg last night, where supporters gathered around a giant screen to watch Bafana play their second match. The atmosphere then shifted when South Africa were awarded a penalty.
I think the lineup motivated me. It's okay. No, actually the boys will do great. Yeah.
This was such a good game for us. We were so worried. But they stepped up, Shem. They stepped up. Our boys stepped up.
I'm hoping that they do much better. I'm not going to say anything much more than that, but I'm just behind them, and I'm really hoping that they pull through and they do much better than they have been.
The boys need our backing. The boys need us to be positive. It's already difficult where they are. That's the world's biggest stage. And for us as South Africans, we need to come together and back our boys until the last minute.
Bafana are expected to face South Korea next Thursday. Gold is trading at $4,208.59 an ounce. The rand is at 16.46 to the dollar, 21.72 to the pound, 18.85 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $79.47 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Germiston, we've got heavy traffic volumes along the N3 North. This is between the Yelands interchange and the Geldenes interchange. That's due to an accident between these 2 points as well as roadwork. So please do expect about a 40-minute hold up or try to avoid this route. You can still use the N17 East and then also the M2 West. We'll have more coming up.
And in your sport, Bafana's World Cup dreams still alive after they drew 1-1 with Czechia thanks to a Mokoena penalty. Mexico beat South Korea 1-0 this morning. Rain forecast for Dublin, where the Bulls battle Leinster in the ERC final tonight. And horrendous weather for the start of the US Open Golf, where Wyndham Clark has a 6-shot lead but hasn't finished his round yet.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg, starting at 8 degrees, peaking at 16. Pretoria 10 and 19. Vereniging 6 and 16 degrees as well. The top story in EWN this hour: crime intelligence boss Dumsani Khumalo's lawyers say the NPA's investigative directorate against corruption was instructed to slap him with a warrant of arrest.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Yeah, I never thought as a kid I'll be here, you know. It's a dream come true. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I'm proud of the team. We got all the support. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm so excited. The way we fought today, I think everyone back home is proud, and yeah, man, we showed up. I think we showed up today.
This to level in Atlanta. And for South Africa, this has to go in. Mokoena puts it in the corner. They are still alive in this World Cup. 1-1.
1-1 was how things ended last night. Bafana keeping the hope alive, keeping the dream on fire. Are you a Bafana supporter this morning? You're a football lover? Are you a neutral, wondering what this fuss is all about? How are you feeling? What a way to go into the weekend. We're not out yet. We're not out for the count by any means, by any stretch. Did you watch the game? How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you invigorated? Did the coach get it right this time in terms of his team selection? Bafana. Muteo, where are you? Are you working out the permutations of what has to happen next?
Yeah, we're already pulling out the calculators, but I recognize the team that played yesterday. That's our identity.
That's
Bafana. Especially
Bafana.
The last 20 minutes, I'd say how we play. You know, that's how we fight. And I'm more than happy with that.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Amo, tell me you didn't have to save the game this time. You had to watch it live with the kids. You're not going to play it again over the weekend on catch-up or whatever?
No. We watched it live and we were really, really impressed, especially in the second half. I kept on clutching onto my son. He said, "Mommy, you're hurting me," because it was it was so captivating. You know, we're at the edge of our seats just waiting for another goal, but I'm happy with the draw. I can't remember the last time I was so happy with the draw.
And listen, they had a number of chances, even in that second half. I mean, that last 20 minutes, they were completely dominant. I think, I keep wanting to call them the Czech Republic. They're not called Czechia. I think the Czechia players didn't quite know what had hit them, right? Because they thought they had it in the bag. I mean, they scored so early on. And I want to know from those of you who switched the channel, right? Who after that first goal thought, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the ovaries. I don't have the spirit. I'm changing the channel.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
On our menu today, we're going to start with the leader of Action SA, Herman Mashaba. Of course, I think momentum is now gathering, ahead of the 30th of June and the planned protests on that day around the issue of migration. People have linked his party, at the very least, as supportive of those marches. what happens if things go wrong? Will Herman Mashaba stand by what is planned? What happens if the demonstrations spill over and blood, of course, flows in our streets? He'll answer those questions. We're also keeping an eye on the 10,000 Malawians who are in Durban trying to get home. Their government doesn't have resources to repatriate them. Ours has to follow a legal process. How long will they be there in limbo? We're hoping to speak to the KwaZulu-Natal Premier Tamindulu. He's agreed to talk to us, but you know how these things can go at the worst of times. We'll speak to him, and we'll give you details from Dr. Kingsley Makubela of the Iran-US deal. That's our menu this morning.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
But of course, it being a Bafana Friday, before we do anything else, it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 1, 2, 3, it's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
Well done to the team. We've got messages for Bafana. We'd love to hear them. What happens next? What do you think are our best chances in terms of the permutations that must now unfold? Mateo, KG, before we went on air, KG Start the Clock was saying Mexico just has to keep what it's doing. They just have to keep on doing what they've been doing because clearly they're here for glory.
I hope they don't go easy on Czechia and that we steal a win from South Korea. It was also under pressure now because they lost to Mexico.
Right. So hang on. So in our group, we lost to Mexico. South Korea and Czechia drew. Right?
No, South Korea won their game.
South Korea won against Czechia.
Yeah.
So we drew against Czechia. So now Mexico has to beat South Korea, and we
have already.
No, I mean Mexico has to beat Czechia, and we have to beat South Korea to get through. And then obviously goal difference will also matter.
One last game. Yeah, I mean about 8 teams get to go through.
Yeah.
8 third place teams. So that's what we're going for.
So even if we still are placed third,
we have a chance.
If we were to, for example, I don't know, score 3-3 or 4-4 or something, that'll at least give us.
We need to win the game.
Okay. But we're all feeling good. We're feeling so much better than last week. Your congratulatory messages for Bafana. Are you crossing your fingers? Are you worried? Is this the hope that will kill us?
Hi, good morning, Bongani and the team. Sam here from Joburg. Yeah, well done to Bafana. They did very, very well. However, they must stop playing football backwards. I mean, I think the pressure is on a goalkeeper there because they are playing backwards. But well done to them. We are still alive. Thanks, Sam from Joburg.
Sam from Joburg, I think that's the sentiment that's going to be echoed across the country today. Bafana playing their second match in the group stages of the FIFA World Cup against Czechia. Czechia, of course, led in the early minutes. South Africa equalized, you might say, in the dying minutes of the game through that penalty by Teboho Mokoena. And at the post-match interview, Coach Hugo Bruce reflected on the game, and he says he believes in the kind of football Bafana play.
I think I'm very proud of my team. When you see the reaction after our game against Mexico, this is Bafana. We play good football, we are aggressive, we have chances, but you need also a little bit luck. And we made one mistake. Everyone knows that number 5 is throwing very far. And still in the beginning of the game, we're surprised by that. It's a pity, but again, I'm very proud of the performance of my team today.
All right, so Bafana, and of course we have a shout-out as always. Our shout-out is something we bring up as a conversation point, as an illustrator really of something we want you to know that is happening in the news. And it's a lovely one, I think, for a Friday. Mateo and Amo, I want to know from you, what is the best thing you could say about your spouse or partner? And if you're sitting at home, lying on your bed, and you're thinking, oh, I wish I had a partner or spouse, well, that's fine. You're also part of it. What's the one thing you wish you could say? I mean, you're probably better placed, actually, than those people who do have partners because they have to work with reality. You can still dream, right? What's the one thing you would love to be able to say about your significant other? But if you could pay tribute to your spouse, to your partner, to your chosen one, what's the best thing you could say about them that you want the world to know? Amo?
That he is very smart. Oh, my husband is very, very smart. And he's also kind. You know those smart people who are not arrogant and, stingy when it comes to information, to helping others out. He is so kind. If there's a new person in the office, he's the guy to go to. If you work with him and you are new and you know where he works and you are new in the office, he's the guy to go to. He'll show you around. He'll show you the tricks and all of that. And even the way he leads, because he takes a leadership role in his office. It's so warm. You almost feel like you would have wanted your teacher to be like that.
Oh, gosh. You married well, didn't you?
I did.
Monteo, beat that.
No, Guillermo's the most amazing person. Most amazing thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh.
Yeah. Every time I'm like, how did you pull that off? Every time. I'm just
How
like,
lucky am I?
Yeah. So,
what did I do
to deserve this? I don't want to ask those questions.
You must have been a good person in your previous life. All right, I want you pay tribute to your partner, to your spouse. We'll tell you why we're asking coming up. What's the best thing you could say about them that you want the world to know?
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
There's so much going on, of course, in the country. Yesterday, we expected action against crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo. We'd been told he was about to be arrested. And now we're hearing from his lawyers saying the NPA's investigative directorate against corruption was instructed to slap him with a warrant of arrest. Khumalo and KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi presented themselves to the Brooklyn Police Station yesterday following a request by IDAC. But when they arrived, they were told by investigators that senior IDAC officials had directed them not to carry out the warrant of arrest. And it's not yet clear what on earth is going on there. So that's certainly going to be another story. The Malawian government says it can't be held accountable for how its citizens entered South Africa illegally. This after, of course, the tit-for-tat exchanges. They offered their citizens repatriation. The citizens showed up in their tens, 100, there were 10,000. I'm not say tens of thousands. There were 10,000. They showed up in their thousands. They got overwhelmed because they don't have the resources to do so. And now they're saying to South Africa, well, actually, it's not our fault. Your soup, you sort it out. As I say, we're speaking to the KZN Premier about what happens next in that story.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
17 after 6. Mateo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know from you and the 702 landers this morning. The new tax season is almost upon us. Are you expecting a bit of cash from SARS, or are you looking away? Because you just pray for the best. You know, it's like the lotto. The years you know they're going to give you something back, it's a pleasant surprise. The years you know they want something from you, they want more from you, you go, oh gosh, here we go. Have you ever received anything from SARS?
Yeah, I have.
Do you remember what you did with the money?
I think I bought ceiling boards.
Oh, so you can still point at the ceiling boards
and say, at least, no kizi, Kisweta.
I got something.
Give me that. So curious about what prompts that question.
702.
Weather.
This weather report brought to you by Subaru. Rain on the road, gravel under the wheels. However, today's weather changes. Subaru keeps you moving. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Temperatures maxing at 16 degrees in a number of places, actually, including Johannesburg and Vereeniging, and that's the same for Mbombela. Pretoria will max out at 19 degrees, as will Bloemfontein and East London. Gqeberha's 18, Mahikeng 20, Polokwane 18.
Some mornings, the world feels uncertain. The sky turns, the road changes, and then there's that feeling. The quiet grip of the road beneath you, the calm in every turn. It's not just how it drives, it's how it takes care of you and the people you love. And somewhere between the first drop of rain and the road ahead, you realize you've fallen in love. Subaru carries you through life's weather. Fall in love with Subaru's all-weather confidence. Book a test drive on subaru.co.za.
EWN Traffic.
19 after 6, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got heavy traffic volumes on the N3 North. This is between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to a major accident scene. I see also the N3 North is also affected coming out of the Alberton area. So please be on the lookout there. Please try to avoid this backlog as well. You can still use the N17 East as well as the M2 East heading towards the Joburg CBD. While traveling on the Mark 1 North, we've got delays between Boysons Road and the Crown Interchange. Peak time delays there. There's more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 47. Did I turn the iron off? Oh, the inner turmoil. Well, with the Outsurance pointsmen on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Every great business starts with a problem, one you may have experienced yourself. Nedbank Business Ignite 2026 is looking for entrepreneurs who've turned that pain into purpose, those who've built solutions that truly make a difference. So if your business is generating between 1 and 20 million Rand, you could get funding, mentorship, and the support you need to grow with Nedbank as your partner. Plus, you'll get access to Simply Biz to help you scale sustainably. So if you're solving real problems and are ready to take your business further, visit igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com and enter today.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
At Specsavers, we're committed to offering affordable and professional eye care. That's why we're offering 1,500 Rand worth of savings with our winter promotion. Get a free frame up to the value of 1,500 Rand or use the 1,500 Rand on one of our leading vision enhancements, like Climate Eyes, which automatically adapts to changing light. To qualify, simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Let's hear from Dr. Armand, owner of Monument Dental, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
It was one call and I was covered immediately. We are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
On Sunday, 26 July, the entire city unites for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk.
Walk the talk.
And because Joburg is more than just a city, we'll be walking for the people. So join us and help make a difference to homelessness in the city by entering on primemediaplus.com and donating vouchers.
Donate a voucher.
Which is a cashless way to give, helping people experiencing homelessness access a hot shower, a meal, a bed, or more support. Anybody can join and everybody can donate. 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter and donate now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Bongani Bingwa, she is not one in a million, she is a million in one. Her name is Degeteng. She is simply the best. She is lovely. She is humble. She is down to earth. She is a prayer warrior. She is simply amazing. Have a splendid day, Baba from the far.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
I don't think I've ever heard that. Not one in a million, but a million in one. Oh, it makes you want to believe in love again. We're asking a very simple shout out this morning. The kindest, best, greatest thing you could say about your partner or spouse. And if you are unattached, what's the one thing you'd love to be able to say if you could? But I want to know from you the quality you most admire about your chosen one.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
We're asking it very simply because yesterday, of course, former US President Barack Obama and his former First Lady Michelle welcomed the 3 other living US presidential couples, except for the incumbents. But there were others there. There were dignitaries and celebrities for the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. They had a bevy of their favorite artists and bands performing some of their favorite songs. These included the likes of Jennifer Hudson, John Legend, Common, Bruce Springsteen, Christina Aguilera, Bono, Mark Anthony, and of course the great Stevie Wonder. And it all started with a tribute from the First Lady Michelle Obama, who of course paid tribute to her husband yesterday, outlining just who she thinks he is and all the great things he has done. I want you to listen to the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, speaking about Barack Obama.
Please indulge me for a moment because I'm going to take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises. Barack, you got to look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic and absolutely unshakable moral fiber.
Not 1 in a million, but 1 million in 1. Have you ever done something without realizing the symbolic significance of what you were doing, and that became perhaps apparent to you later? Listen to this. In 1783, the British Empire signed the treaty that formally recognized the independence of its American colonies. Although the war was in 1776, it was actually inked and concluded, the treaty, the peace treaty, in 1783. In 1871, France signed a treaty surrendering to Germany. In 1918, Germany signed the treaty that basically surrendered to the Allies to end World War I. Where did all of that happen? At the Palace of Versailles. All of these treaties of surrender. And just the other day, in 2026, who signed a peace deal or a peace treaty? The US President, Donald Trump. Where was that? At the Palace of Versailles. And now they're calling it yet another one of surrender. Garfield, the cartoon, made its debut on this day in 1976, created by Jim Davis and first appearing in 41 newspapers across the United States. Named after Davis's grandfather, the lazy orange cat quickly became a global success. And born Yamkani Janet Banda, who are we talking about? Lady Zamar, born on this day in 1995, the award-winning South African singer, songwriter, and author. And she's gained recognition, of course, part of Junior Taurus and Lady Zamar before launching her successful career.
I feel my head rush as I think of you and try to put myself to use. Laughter and time don't always heal the wounds. It's crazy.
702.
The newspapers.
Swisa Zulu, what's grabbing your attention in the newspapers this morning? I'm looking at the front pages. The Sowetan, glimmer of hope, a picture of Bafana Bafana. But it also warns of a love scam on the internet. A woman parting away with 300,000 of her hard-earned money following a love scam on the internet. The Business Day also has a picture of Bafana Bafana calling it a nail biter. The Citizen also warning about online sex scams with Bafana Bafana on the front page. And Mail and Guardian says how Tongaat was saved. What have you got?
On my side, it's all about World Cup fans visiting the US for the first time. And honestly, a lot of them have been shocked by how America operates. 75% of matches are being played in America, and fans from all over the world are landing there, just being blown away by how big everything is. For instance, one fan from Morocco literally said that he was shocked by how big the Coca-Cola in America is. And some of them are just obsessed by the American fast food. And one guy from Ghana says that even the portions at the restaurants are massive. They couldn't even finish their order. So everyone, the fans who are going to America for the first time to watch the World Cup, is just shocked by how big everything is there.
A land of plenty.
EWN.
Muteo Kharipe wants to know, a hole in your pocket or a windfall from SARS? What are you expecting this year? And if you have been gifted, what have you done with that money previously? It's pretty obvious what prompts the question.
Very, very obvious.
If nobody knows, we should all worry.
The South African Revenue Service, SARS, has confirmed the key dates for the 2026 tax filing season, alongside a set of system changes aimed at making tax submissions faster and more straightforward for individuals. Auto assessments will start from the 1st of July. The non-provisional individuals, those taxpayers, will start from the 13th to the 13th of July to the 23rd of October. These are individuals who just make their money from salaries and wages. Those who have multiple streams of income, the provisional taxpayers, will have their taxes start on the 13th to the 22nd of January 2027. Now, according to the Revenue Service, the filing periods are restructured to support its auto assessment system, which uses third party from employers, banks, medical schemes, and other institutions to pre-fill taxpayer information and reduce manual filing requirements. They're still required to check, though, that information is correct. These include a more pre-filled taxpayer information, simplified return questions, and improved guidance on residency details. They paid out about 40 billion rand last year, but SARS Commissioner Johnston Makubu says the revenue collector is also ready for fraudsters and their schemes. The taxman says the bad actors in the ecosystem are already approaching people, selling them all manner of schemes in order to gain impermissible refunds from the system. Makubu says SARS plans to double down on the use of artificial intelligence as part of efforts to manage risks. The agency will begin auto assessments from the 1st of July to the 12th of July, where it expects to handle approximately 6 million auto assessments.
All right, where's the rand? How are we assessing its performance?
Well, the JSE was down broadly yesterday, and the rand followed suit this morning, down 16 rand 50 against the US dollar. It's down 0.5% this morning. 18 rand 88 in the red against the euro, and 21 rand 74 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,145 an ounce, or platinum is down 1.5% at $1,664. Brent crude at $79 a barrel. More business after 7.
Time for the latest eyewitness news. Sfiso Zulu, they got him.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. A 36-year-old man arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a Canadian tourist at the Kruger National Park is expected to appear in court soon. The suspect was arrested after an alleged accidental firearm discharge on Wednesday. Police say the Canadian tourist approached a private guide carrying a rifle and asked whether the firearm was real. And during the apparent demonstration, the rifle allegedly discharged, fatally wounding the tourist in the upper body. Sand Park spokesperson JP Lowe says the organization is shocked and deeply hurt by the tragedy.
The guest was part of a group booked outside the park and only came in for a bush braai offered by the private concession with a valid permit to operate a facility within the park. Some Parks extends its heartfelt condolences to the family, friends and loved ones of the deceased during this difficult time.
Ongoing power outages at Cape Town's Leiden area continue to inconvenience residents a mother of a 3-month-old baby, has told EWN she has been unable to reload her prepaid electricity box since last month. Eskom says its teams have been sent to the area to attend to reported faults, but it's given no timeline for when the issue will be resolved. The mother says lengthy calls to report the fault have become costly and increasingly frustrating. She says the lack of electricity has made it difficult to keep her home warm during the cold weather, and she believes the conditions are affecting her child's health.
It's difficult because you see how the weather is, how you have to think of how am I going to wash this child because it's cold inside the house. You can't even switch on your heater. Your children get sick because it's cold inside the house. For the past, say 4 weeks that my electricity have been off. For the past 4 weeks I had to refill my gas every week and it's 175 rand to just refill your gas. Think, where do I get all of this money if I'm on maternity leave?
The Malawian government says it cannot be held accountable for how its citizens entered South Africa illegally. Home Affairs confirmed recently that at least 10,000 Malawians in Durban were in the country without the correct documents, and some of them didn't have papers at all. They were transported to their home country through buses yesterday after camping at the Sherwood Hall for more than a week. When asked about the matter, Malawi's High Commissioner to South Africa, Stella Ndau, had this to say.
I think this question is better answered by the South African government, the Home Affairs and other people, other different stakeholders will be the best to respond to this question.
And 35 people have been killed after gunmen struck Niger's largest airport, the second attack in less than 5 months. The BBC is reporting that residents in the predominantly Muslim country had just finished their morning prayers when explosions and gunshot sounds rang out from Doiri Humani International Airport in the capital. Niger's defense ministry says the fatalities comprised 22 attackers, 11 soldiers and 2 civilians. An Al-Qaeda affiliate group has claimed responsibility for the attack. Niger has been fighting insurgency for a decade, and in January this year, an organization linked to the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for an attack on the same airport. A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 6 and 10 degrees, peaking at highs between 16 and 19.
Traffic remains heavily backed up along the N3 North between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. There's also queuing traffic along the Mark 1 North between Boysons Road and Carr Street.
The top story this hour, a 36-year-old man arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a Canadian tourist at the Kruger National Park is expected to appear in court soon.
That's Liesel, before she got naked. Liesel checked her insurance premium and got angrier than the time a teenager called her Tunny. So Liesel got naked and got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds, all on the Naked app. There we go, Liesel. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
This July experienced a world premiere unlike anything Johannesburg has seen before. The Bongani, an African choral ballet, is a first-of-its-kind collaboration between Joburg Ballet, UJ Arts and Culture, the acclaimed University of Johannesburg Choir, and a live chamber orchestra from the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. A bold reimagining of the timeless classic by Euripides. This spectacular production fuses ballet, African choral music, and live orchestral performances into one unforgettable theatrical event. You can see it from the 3rd to the 12th of July at the Mandela Theatre at the Joburg Theatre. Book now at Web Tickets. The Bongani, an African choral ballet, a landmark world premiere. Don't miss it.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
The world is moving fast. Consumer mindsets and preferences are changing in real time. AI is creating new rules and timelines are shorter than ever. At Plus 94 Research, we help leaders reduce uncertainty. We deliver authentic, real-time data grounded in proven methodologies and powered by relevant, cutting-edge technology, So when decisions can't wait, you move forward with clarity, confidence, and impact. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision making.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. So what you do is you send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show. For that, you win $1,000. Simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. Then later, someone else will ask a question to get your answer and they'll win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
702. WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
The best thing I could say about my spouse is that he accepts me for who I am. He never judges me. I just find that such a lovely quality. I can just be who I am. It's very freeing. The one thing bad I could say about him, I wish he'd stop snoring. Michelle Randberg.
How bongs, what a topic. I have a sweet soul, bongs, I have a sweet soul, love of my life, joy of my joys. I don't know, lie, bongs. Men are crying out there. I hear them crying. Every time I tell them, guys, you know what? I have peace in the house. There's a lot of peace in the house, bongs. To an extent whereby I don't know what to do. Last week I just bought a car. Last month I've just bought a car to say thank you for the life that we're living in the house. It's a peaceful home, there's a word saying a happy family is the temple of God. She brought that in the house. Hallelujah.
We're getting all religious and spiritual about it too, hey? We're talking, of course, in light of the opening of that presidential center, that Obama presidential center in Chicago. I played you some of what Michelle Obama had to say about her husband, Barack. And I'm asking you, what's the best thing you would like to say about your spouse or partner?
Good morning, Bongani. Good morning, Bongani. It's TJ, the truck driver here. I'm proud of Bafana, no matter what will happen to the next game. Remember, how many years did we not go to the World Cup? But it is clear now what Pele has said. The best way of defending is to attack. That's the best way of defending. Not what Hugo Bruce did with the first game.
EWN Sport.
Well, let's get straight into it. This EWN Sport is brought to you by Checkers. The final whistle hasn't blown on big savings yet. The big Checkers XXL Savings Championship continues with new deals every week only at Checkers. No doubt, Cindy Paluta, you were glued to your TV last night?
Absolutely. Look, I did spend the first half an hour of the match sitting in my car streaming it outside an Afrikaans extra lesson.
Yes, you did say, yeah.
That's the beauty of parenting. But yes, I watched the game, and in the first half, I was like, come on, Bafana, honestly. We're the same performance against Mexico, just sluggish. Not exciting. This is terrible. And I mean, they punished us in the opening, scoring the quickest goal at the World Cup so far, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. And I think we all had our heads in our hands going, what is going on? And then they came back like a completely different side in the second half, and it was absolutely amazing. Handball, Mokoena gets the resulting penalty. Here's Coach Hugo Bruce.
First of all, why shouldn't I be relieved? I didn't see a reason. Secondly, we played a very good game today, except one moment in the beginning of the first half where we were not concentrated, not focused. We knew that number 5 had a long throw in. We let surprise us, and on that level, you paid cash such a mistake.
Right, so Bafana now have to beat South Korea on Thursday. Earlier this morning, South Korea losing to Mexico 1-0. Canada cruised to a 6-0 win over Qatar. Switzerland beat a 10-man Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. The Bulls are playing Leinster tonight in the final of the United Rugby Championship with rain forecast in Dublin. It's a repeat of last year's final. Here's Coach Johan Ackerman.
We've got a plan in place that we're going to stick to, and it's still going to boil down to what we all know, to match Leinster's physicality and intensity. It doesn't matter what the weather is going to be, but whatever the conditions is, we have to deal with that and just enjoy the moment. The team is ready regardless of the weather, because it will obviously rain for both teams if it rains, and we can just deal with it on the day.
Kick-off tonight, 8:30. The Springboks playing Barbarians tomorrow at 3. It was horrendous conditions for the start of golf's third major of the year, the US Open. Blustering wind making it incredibly difficult for players to complete their rounds. Wyndham Clark capitalised on the better afternoon conditions, leading on 6 under, but he's only gone through 16 holes. He's 4 ahead of the field, while Rory McIlroy finished his round on 1 under.
I think with the conditions today, anything under par is a good score. It was a day to really just keep yourself in the tournament and not shoot yourself out of it, which is exactly what I did 8 years ago here. So sort of went out with the mindset that pars were going to be good, and if you could pick up a couple of birdies here and there, that's always a bonus, but really just minimizing the mistakes, and I did that for the most part.
World number 1 Scotty Scheffler's 8 off the pace on 2 over. And in Test cricket, New Zealand in control after day 2 of the second Test with England at stumps. England 222 for 6, trailing New Zealand by 169 runs as the Black Caps posted 391. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The final whistle hasn't blown on big savings yet. The Checkers XXL Savings Championship continues with new deals every week. Like Lancewood Cheddar or Gouda Cheese, 900 grams for $129.99, save 40 Rand. And Nescafe Classic Instant Coffee, 200 or 230 grams, any 2 for 219 Rand, save 71 Rand. Valid until 21 June, only at Checkers.
At the foot of Table Mountain, life moves a little differently. Just minutes from the Cape Town city centre, the Vineyard Hotel feels a world away, surrounded by gardens, trees, and a slower rhythm of life. So whether you're escaping for a few days or extending a business trip, it's a place to step out of the rush and slow down. So this winter, take a breather at the Vineyard. Stay for 2 nights and enjoy their winter offer. Find out more at vineyard.co.za.
Keep moving through 6 a.m. call times, the rain, dirt tracks, and moving through tight deadlines. Because you move with purpose, from the first stop to the final drop. The Hino 700 truck tractor comes standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty and advanced safety features tailored to your industry. The Hino 700 is built to fuel your business's progress. Hino, all the way.
Attention! Are you 18 to 30 years of age? Is your bedroom giving basic? It's time for a transformation. Cashbuild's Pimp My Room is back. Selected contestants receive 10,000 Rand for a room makeover, plus amazing advice from our expert partners. The winner walks away with a big prize of up to 60,000 Rand to finish their renovations. Follow Cashbuild on social media to get one step closer to your dream bedroom. Cashbuild.
Let's count backward. 5. Insurance. 4. Pineapple. 3. Insurance. 2. Pineapple. 1. You're under. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hi, my name is Urifida Mareme. I am 11 years old. I go to Generation Schools. When I grow up, I want to be a pilot.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
13 to 7, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Citroen. Visit your nearest dealership this June. Test drive and purchase any Citroen and stand to win an all-expenses-paid world-class rugby experience to South Africa v New Zealand on the 5th of September. T's and C's apply. Amo, you were telling us about delays in the Germiston area, I think. What's going on there?
That's correct, Bongani. We still have got heavy traffic volumes along the N3 North. This is between the Elands interchange and the Geldenhuys interchange. That's due to a major accident scene causing about a 40-minute delay. We're also seeing delays on the M2 East approaching the Geldenhuys turn off. And then if you're traveling out of Alberton, more delays on the N3 North towards the airlines turn off. So please try to use the R59 North as well as the N17 West into areas like the CBD. While traveling on the Mark 1 North, we've got bumper-to-bumper traffic between Boyeson's Road and Car Street exit. That's due to peak time delays there. There's also peak time delays reported in the city of Tshwane along the R80 East approaching Eskem-Pahlele exit. I'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Good morning, Mzansi. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's Thursday.
No.
TGIF, am I right? Citroen Super Saturday is back. Yes. Test drive or buy any Citroen and stand to win a world-class rugby experience. South Africa versus New Zealand, 5 September. Double your entries with the all-new Citroen Basalt from 354,900 Rand up to 40,000 Rand deal assist. Book at citroen.co.za. Runs till 30 June. T's and C's apply.
Energy reform is beginning to stabilize supply, but South Africa is not yet out of the woods. The Industrial Development Corporation offers energy solutions for industrialization by financing large-scale energy infrastructure projects to generate change with the Industrial Development Corporation. Visit idc.co.za for funding now.
Johannesburg is calling. Join thousands of Joburgers on Sunday, 26 July for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Experience the energy and spirit of the City of Gold as you walk through the historic streets of Joburg CBD, celebrating a city on the rise. As an iconic brand deeply connected to Johannesburg, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's bringing communities together and showcasing the best of Josie. Starting and finishing at Ellis Park, this is more than a walk. It's a celebration of our city and its growth journey. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Bongani, the Bafanas concedes early goals. If they can stop that, 6 minutes into the game, we conceded. But I'm still hopeful that we can beat Korea. But Koreans are fast, Are fast. And Mukwena is not going to play next game. He got 2 yellow cards. Yeah, let's hope. Thank you.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz.
Let's see if we can score 10 goals in the Whiz Quiz. We're playing today with 11-year-old Urifile, who is in grade 6 and goes to Generations School. Urifile, are you ready to play the Whiz Quiz?
Yes, I am.
What's your goal? 10 out of 10, hey?
Yes.
Yeah, that will be nice. Let's see if we can pull it through. KG, start the clock. Teeth, are they made of bone or enamel?
Enamel.
Correct. Which of the big 5 animals is the fastest land mammal on Earth? Is it a lion or is it the cheetah?
Cheetah.
Correct. What is the name of South Africa's currency?
Rand.
Correct. Which star gives the Earth light and warmth during the day?
The sun.
Correct. What is the name of Mickey Mouse's famous pet dog?
Pass.
Pluto. What do South Africans call dried, cured meat that is a popular snack?
Biltong.
Correct. Finish the famous proverb, an apple a day keeps the what away?
The tree.
The doctor. What is the nickname of the South African football team?
Bafana.
Correct. 25 divided by 5 equals?
5.
Correct. Spell the word economy.
ECONOMI.
Correct. We'll give it to you. It's in time. A really good round for you. Urifile. You walk away with 800 Rand. 800 Rand. 8 answers answered correctly.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
702.
The Political Desk.
All right, the migrant crisis is certainly the issue that is top of mind for many a South African. It's less than 2 weeks to go before the planned anti-migration protests scheduled by a number of organizations for the 30th of June. And South Africa is increasingly on edge. Labor unions and other parties are urging workers and their members to stay away. The president has warned against scapegoating foreign nationals. Action SA says whilst the law must be enforced, government has now allowed illegal migration to reach crisis levels. The party insists its position is not above the rule of law and is not xenophobia, but tensions are rising, and the question, I suppose, is whether that distinction is clear enough on the ground. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba joins us now on the line. Always a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to 702 listeners.
All right. I suppose the really obvious question to ask you, what does your party want to see on the 30th of June?
Well, I think before the 30th of June, it is really my personal wish and my party's wish as well is to see the government doing something to demonstrate to South Africans who are affected by these illegal undocumented foreigners, start actually demonstrating to them that they're serious about the mass deportation of these people, because they've really caused so much harm that anyone, even you can tell me you're blind, the negative effect of these people in our country is really causing harm.
What can they do? What can government do in 2 weeks?
Well, whether they do it in 2 weeks or they do it in 6 months, but I think let them practically demonstrate.
Sure. I mean, remember I asked you, what would you like to see happen on the 30th of June? And you said, don't even wait until then. Demonstrate that you're going to move on these people.
No,
and I'm asking
we don't have to.
Between now and then, what can they do?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not the one who came out with the date of June 30th, so I cannot really comment on that.
All right, so shall we go back?
I can only comment on the plight of South Africans who are really tired, they're heartful.
Sure.
They just want to see some action. So that is what I'm appealing for government to push our people beyond what they can take. So,
all right. Unable to establish what can be done between now and the 30th of June, then let's go back to the 30th of June. On that date, what would you like to see happen?
Well, I would really like to see the South African government and all those who are calling for the deadline to really come together, come out with a plan how the mass deportation is going to happen. Because the mass deportation has to happen. Whether it happens on 30th of June or it happens over time, but South Africans wants to see serious commitment and practical plans on how they're going to get illegal undocumented people out of our country.
The president has warned against scapegoating foreign nationals and migrants in South Africa for our deeper economic and governance challenges. And one of the concerns he has raised is this issue of groups who go around asking people for identification, asking people for papers. And the president has said, leave that kind of thing to law enforcement and law enforcement only. What's your stance on that?
Well, I think the president is the wrong person to be telling South Africans about the rule of law. I think he's the first one that actually South Africans are asking him not to keep money under mattresses and so forth. So unfortunately, when you have a leader like that and trying to come out with morality for society, you find it really very difficult for society to listen to.
But if we were to argue the ball and not the man, is he wrong?
Well, is he right by bringing money into the country?
No, Mr. Mashaba, let's focus on this. Hold on.
And employ illegal foreigners. And when the money gets stolen, he takes the law into his own hands. So that's what I'm saying is when you have a leader that is not exemplary, it becomes really very difficult to really get your subjects to respect the rule of law.
Well, we're citizens, not subjects.
You can't tell me, I'm playing the man.
Hold on. Here's the thing I want to establish. Is it correct for these groups that are going around asking
Absolutely
people
not.
to...
Absolutely not. I'm sure Bongani, you and
You miss him, don't you?
Bongani, let me tell you something. Let me remind you and South African, your listeners. 1st of December 2016, when I was the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, at the time giving 100 days of my report, I raised this issue. And I remember all hell broke loose, and people expected me to apologize, and I refused because I had the law on my side. The ANC went to an extent of reporting me to the South African Human Rights Commission. And 3 months later, I was cleared. There's a press conference. You can check it on your library. This issue of illegal undocumented foreigners is a national threat to our country. And our immigration laws are very clear that no one should really be in this country without having the necessary documentation. However, I've always been really very clear on numerous occasions, saying to South Africans, let's not take the law into our own hands. It is no longer unlike apartheid where we used to use stones. Right now, let's vote this uncaring government out of power. That is the lesson and the power that you have.
There's growing concern, and we've seen a number of demonstrations, I'm calling them dress rehearsals, for what is to come. And there's growing concern that if these demonstrations go out of hand, there may be loss of life. It's apparent from this interview that these organizations have your support. Are you worried about what could go wrong? And if things do go wrong, and if people do take the law into their own hands, will you share some of the blame?
Why should I share the blame when I'm raising an issue that is...
They'll say Herman Mashaba said we could do this.
Tell me, where did they say Herman Mashaba said you must do it?
I'm saying to you, it's apparent from this interview that these organizations have your support in doing what they are.
They've got my support. They've got my support to raise the issue that they have. We had the right to stand up against apartheid. We have the right, the fullest right. It's our constitutional right to have peaceful marches. That's why these marches, all the time when people have them, they get the permission of our laws. So how can you then want to take that constitutional right away from them? The only thing that we need to do, let government actually be this time sensitive, listen to them, find a way. Government has got the capacity to start engaging these groups to ensure that they find one another. So unlike just ignoring them and calling them xenophobes and using threats, engage South Africans. South Africans are not just in the streets because they want to be in the streets. South Africans are crying for help.
All right, Herman Mashaba, the leader of Action SA.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
What happens next to the 10,000 Malawians in Durban? How soon can they be assisted to leave South Africa? And do we have a deal between the US and Iran?
This is EWN.
Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and Dumsani Khumalo want answers from IDEC, and
this was such a good game for us. We were so worried, but they stepped up.
The boys need our backing. The boys need us to be positive.
South Africans are behind Bafana all the way. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says it appears there's a growing standoff between the police service and the NPA's Investigative Directorate Against Corruption. Mkhwanazi and crime intelligence boss Dumsani Khumalo presented themselves at the Brooklyn Police Station in Pretoria yesterday after being requested to do so by IDEC. They claim to have been informed that IDEC obtained warrants for their arrests in connection with an investigation they say they know nothing about. But they were not arrested after investigative officers received instructions not to execute the warrants. Alpha Ramashwana reports.
KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says the NPA's Investigative Directorate Against Corruption and the South African Police Service appear to be at war. Mkhwanazi claims IDEC's attempt to arrest him and crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo may be linked to an investigation they've been conducting into 3 IDEC officials.
Because that's how the information came to us. And early in the week and confirmed yesterday.
So we suspect perhaps something's got to do with it. The only unfortunate part, actions of this nature are the ones that are going to distract the team.
IDEC has yet to clarify why it instructed Mkhwanazi and Khumalo to present themselves to police. Khumalo's lawyer, however, claims the investigating officers were ordered not to proceed with the arrest. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Deputy President Paul Mashatile has not ruled out naming and shaming businesses who employ undocumented migrants. Mashatile says this will be in addition to the hefty fines that the government will be imposing on businesses who break labour laws. Mashatile was addressing the National Council of Provinces yesterday, where he faced questions about protests led by organisations such as March and March. Babalondenza reports.
The introduction of the Employment Services Amendment Bill in Parliament will see significant changes, including stricter measures to regulate the employment of foreign nationals. New regulations will also see penalties of 100,000 rand for employers who employ undocumented foreigners, a penalty that can escalate to 1 million rand or jail time for repeat offenders. Paul Mashatile was asked by some members of the NCOP yesterday whether the government will consider naming the offenders.
Maybe they must know that there will be a heavy fine in addition to naming and shaming, because we must stop that practice.
Mashatile also says police must act decisively against vigilantism.
The state cannot be accused of connivance in acts of violence against citizens or anybody else.
Mashatile says they've also met with traditional leaders to communicate the government's position. Babalondenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And more than 1,000 Malawian nationals have been deported to their home country. They travelled with buses from Durban through the Beitbridge border post yesterday. Zimbabweans who were also at the Lindela Holding Centre were also sent home yesterday. But it seems illegal cross-border movement along the Limpopo River continues. Demakatso Lishuru has more.
Many of the women, including mothers travelling with their children, were in possession of documents confirming their illegal status in South Africa. They were escorted by public order police convoys into Musina, while most were reluctant to speak to the media. One of them told EWN she is relieved to be leaving South Africa to go back home.
So what are you going to do now in Malawi?
Like pieces, chicken, I'm selling, every day I'm selling business.
Even as they prepared to leave South Africa, some deportees showed little acknowledgement of having entered the country illegally.
Were you legal in the country or illegal?
No paper.
Are you going to get the papers come the right way, or what do you think?
No.
That sentiment is not uncommon along the stretch of the border. Just kilometers away, Zimbabwean border jumpers continue to cross the Limpopo River using raft boats, often transporting goods into South Africa to avoid paying custom duties. As the sun sets over the Hachirudi land, there is no sign of drones or Border Management Authority patrols along some of the known crossing points. Despite speeches about stricter control over migration, including soldiers deployed to protect this area in Hachirudi, illegal movement across the porous border continues. Dimakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News, Musina.
And South Africans remain hopeful for Bafana Bafana's performance at the FIFA World Cup. Emotions were high in Randburg last night, where supporters gathered around a giant screen to watch Bafana play their second match. The atmosphere quickly shifted when South Africa were awarded a penalty during their game, equalising 1-1 with Czechia.
I think the lineup motivated me. It's okay. No, actually the boys will do great. Yeah.
This was such a good game for us. We were so worried. But they stepped up, Shem. They stepped up. Our boys stepped up.
I'm hoping that they do much better. I'm not going to say anything much more than that, but I'm just behind them, and I'm really hoping that they pull through and they do much better than they have been.
The boys need our backing. The boys need us to be positive. It's already difficult where they are. That's the world's biggest stage. And for us as South Africans, we need to come together and back our boys until the last minute.
Bafana is expected to face South Korea next Thursday. Gold is trading at $4,132.94 an ounce. The rand is at 16.53 to the dollar, 21.77 to the pound, 18.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $79.40 a barrel.
And in the traffic in the city of Tshwane, we've got delays on the N1 South between the Proof Plus interchange and Linwood Road. There's also queuing traffic along the N1 North just as you approach the Flying Saucer interchange, while traveling on the R80 East Mabopane Highway, queuing traffic towards Eskom Pahlele Drive.
And in your sport,
this to level in Atlanta. And for South Africa, this has to go in. Mokoena puts it in the corner. They are still alive in this World Cup.
Bafana held Czechia 1-0 and still have hope at the World Cup after Mexico beat South Korea 1-0. The Bulls battle Leinster in the URC final tonight with rain forecast for Dublin. The Boks open their season against the Barbarians tomorrow. And wind causes havoc in round 1 of the US Open golf, where Rory McIlroy's 5 off the pace.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says it appears there's a growing standoff between the police service and the NPA's investigative directorate against corruption.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
This growing standoff between the police and the NPA is a worrying one, if as framed by the KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is indeed the case. Remember, we are all here, of course, whether you look at Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating alleged criminality in our law enforcement, or indeed the Madlanga Commission, because of what Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi told us. And for him now to be saying what he is saying, I think is a real worry.
I represent General Kumalo as well as General Madondo. They were called earlier this afternoon, around about 1 o'clock, and instructed to surrender themselves for arrest and detention at the Brooklyn police station. They were informed that a warrant of arrest had been issued for the arrest. When they arrived here at 2:15, I also was present. IDEC was not here. They were then informed by a gentleman who called them, informing them that he's a chief investigator at IDEC. Further informed that they were not to be arrested today due to a call that came from senior management, the details of which you have somewhat alluded to.
This is, of course, one of the attorneys, James Ndebele, speaking about how things unraveled yesterday. It is a real concern. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, for his part, was talking about these tensions.
The intelligence we received yesterday was that they've given themselves 48 hours to make sure that myself and Kumalo are behind bars, because they believe that we have secured a warrant of arrest for IDEC officials. But when Kumalo told me today that he's received a phone call by IDEC that say he must present himself at the station, so I thought the 48 hours that we were warned about yesterday is real. That's why I came here, so that first I can confirm with Kumalo to see the phone numbers that called him. And also, if IDEC is here, I might as well say, here I am, if you need me as well. But to my surprise, then Kumalo gets another phone call that says that he doesn't have to present himself because of some executive decision.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Well, you heard from the Action SA leader, Herman Mashaba, saying something has to be done. The Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, says government is indeed going to be stepping up efforts to tackle illegal immigration through tighter border controls, tougher law enforcement, and a crackdown on corruption in the immigration system. In the meantime, a big story yesterday, the MK party Mkhonto weSizwe expelling MP Duduzile Zuma Sambudla and the former spokesperson Nhlamulo Ndlela with immediate effect. The party accuses them of actions that undermined unity and discipline. Across the Limpopo, Zimbabwe's parliament has passed a controversial bill that could allow President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in power until 2030, and it's extended presidential terms from 5 to 7 years, delaying the next election. That bill, of course, still needs approval from the Senate, but it's widely expected that indeed it will. If you've been watching The Polygamist, if you're obsessed with Jonasi, well, Magesh, the actor who plays Magesh, Kenneth Nkosi, born on this day in 1973. He's a celebrated actor, comedian, and producer with a career spanning film, television, and theatre. And today also marks the birthday of Paula Abdul, born on this day in 1962. She rose to fame as a choreographer with the LA Lakers. Then the Jacksons saw her and decided they wanted to work with her, the Jackson brothers. And then when Janet Jackson started blowing up, the brothers recommended she be her choreographer. She looked at what Janet was doing and she thought, oh, I could do that. Popped into the recording studio. Her first 4 singles from her debut album all went to number 1. She was the first artist to do so from her debut album. And then later she returned to international acclaim as a judge on American Idols.
We come together cause opposites attract, and you know it ain't fiction, just a matter of fact. We come together cause opposites attract. Who'd have thought we could be lovers? She makes the bed and he steals the covers.
Yeah, I've forgotten it. Let's go to traffic.
7:02. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Delays in Pretoria. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. On the N1 South, between the Proof Plus interchange and Linwood Road, as well as on the R80 East towards Eskiampahlele Drive, while travelling on the N3 North, Germiston, queuing traffic between the Yelands interchange and Van Buren Road due to an earlier accident. The M2 East is also backed up towards the Geldenhuys turnoff. We'll have more updates coming up. Please stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Outsurance can't improve your couch coaching skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. When it comes to car insurance, you couldn't be in better hands. Outsurance was voted News 24 Short-Term Insurer of the Year for 4 years in a row. Beal to Reader's Choice Best Insurer 4 years in a row. And City Press Reader's Choice Best Insurer Award 3 years in a row. Clearly, they all feel they're getting something out. SMS right now to see if you can switch and save. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
When the people of Joburg unite for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk on Sunday the 26th of July, your safety will be our priority. Working closely with the South African Police Service, the JMPD, private security teams, emergency services, city wardens and other key stakeholders, there is a complete and comprehensive safety plan in place every step of the way. There's a safe park and ride at the start at Ellis Park, thanks to Gautrain and Prasa. So come along and walk the iconic inner city with us by entering on primemediaplus.com now. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Joburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie. Babize bonke. More on primemediaplus.com.
That's Kefense. Before she got naked. Kefense's premium went up twice last year, and she was more confused than when her ex said, I need to find myself, and then found somebody else. So Kefense got naked. She got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Good for you, Kefense. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Bafana have made it to the world stage, and 10Bet is their proud official betting partner. You can back them in every game with the best odds at 10Bet. Believe in our boys and they will show up. Back them on 10Bet. Bet now at 10bet.co.za. 10Bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.25% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now, feel the earn. Invest within 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank, we're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, go to nedbank.co.za.
My name is Richard Sutton, and I'm the host of the podcast Shift Happens. This podcast is about you and the seasons of growth, change, and transformation that shape who you become. My guests are people who have walked long, difficult roads and along the way developed the tools and skills they needed not just to survive, but to thrive and make a real impact in the world. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, or searching for what's next, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Shift Happens. Now streaming on PrimeMediaPlus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
18 minutes after 6 o'clock. For months now, the world has been held to ransom because of the war between the US and Iran. It does appear a deal is on the table. We saw the US president signing documents at the Palace of Versailles. Many of his critics would say the irony was completely lost on him and are seeing it as a treaty of surrender. Whatever the details, it does appear now that the conflict in the Middle East may be coming to an end. Certainly, shipping may be open, easing pressure on the global economy. We spoke to Dr. Kingsley Makubela, a risk analyst and former diplomat, at the start of all of this, and he joins us now to help us wade through some of the T's and C's. Dr. Makubela, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Bongani. The pleasure is all mine.
There's been some speculation around what the details of this memorandum of understanding actually contained. Some denials initially from Washington, but Tehran more or less confirming what was in the public domain. But let's go back to the start of all of this. From the very beginning, Donald Trump, the current US president, was very critical of a 2015 agreement that was signed under his predecessor, Barack Obama. He called it an awful deal. It was flawed, and he promptly tore it up upon taking office, didn't he?
He did, Bongani. And that deal, the JPSO deal, was much better than what we are having now, because it had built-in mechanism for the monitoring of the Iran nuclear technology. And it had certain sweeteners that were attached to it. I think they were paid about $1.5 billion. With this deal now, Iran is likely to unlock its $24 billion asset that have been frozen. Iran now, as it is, Iran has no obligation. There's no discussion even in terms of the nuclear matter. It's going to the second round. And if you look at this agreement, Bongani, particularly paragraph 13, which I think is a trigger mechanism, it requires the United States to do certain things before the next round of negotiation could take place. That's why J.D. Vance is still in Washington. He hasn't traveled to Geneva to start the negotiations.
I mean, first of all, the Obama deal, the JCPOA, as you say, from 2015, was a multiple-page document. It was comprehensive. It was a multilateral deal negotiated over 2 years with allies, the UK, France, Germany, Russia, China, and the EU all participating. Trump's deal is, a page and a half, a 14-point memorandum of understanding. It's just between the US and Iran, and there's no real clear path about what happens if its terms and conditions are not met.
Well, what is quite clear, if you look at paragraph 14, it has to be the final agreement must be endorsed by the Security Council. And that's why there are consultations now and then between Russians and the Chinese and other members of the Security Council around this issue. I don't think there's any objection from permanent members of the Security Council if this deal is eventually endorsed by the two countries.
But help me through the double speak. I mean, one of the things that Donald Trump was quite clear was that Iran would not have ballistic missiles. And yet in this week he's been saying, well, it's a little unfair if they don't and their neighbors do. How do we deal or interpret all of that?
Bongani, the question of the range of ballistic missiles of Iran, it has never been part of this process. It was an Israeli insistence on that. And Iran sees this as an existential threat because they will have no capacity to defend themselves. So that's why the question of the range of missile has been taken off the negotiation table, because Iran has clearly stated that's a red line. So, but once they achieve what is contained in this memorandum of understanding, it will lay a better framework for peaceful Middle East. But the biggest problem, Bongani, is to think that this could be done within 60 days. That's too ambitious. It's unlikely to happen within 60 days.
Let's talk about what, in fact, has been signed. Critics are calling it a capitulation, a surrender, if you will. I mentioned the Palace of Versailles in my introduction, and we know, of course, previous treaties of surrender that have been signed there. That bit of history, I suppose, a little lost on the U.S. president.
Well, I think always the optics matter a lot. If Trump was quite sensitive on this matter, he should have done that, because that's where the capitulations treaties were signed. He should have opted for a much better venue. But it tells you lack of attention to details and the optics that are created by whatever he does. But in terms of this deal, there are only two paragraphs that I think addresses the concern or the initial concerns of the Americans. Paragraph 8 and paragraph 9 that are speaking to the nuclear thing. The other one is, of course, the IEA has to take a certain responsibility in monitoring. And the paragraph 9 is basically Iran's commitment that it will not develop nuclear weapons. That's it. The rest of other paragraphs.
So what was this all about? Because, that shifts us back to where we were at the start. If anything, Iran walks away with a lot more guarantees in terms of, economic certainty and what comes next for them. But for the U.S., certainly, it shifts us back to where we were when this all started.
This war, when it started, and the conduct of this was proving one thing, Bongani, that in this multipolar world, the sources of power are no longer the traditional strong military, strong economy. That even with the geographic locations, you can project power, and Iran has shown this, to use the Strait of Hormuz as a power projection. And really, as you correctly said, to hold all of us to ransom. And Iran has managed to do that. And I think the Americans underestimated that. And that's why, even within the administration, there's a dispute now as to whether did the administration anticipate that Iran would close down the Strait of Hormuz with this ramification on the oil industry. Now that, the talks are likely to proceed, you see in the market, the oil market is doing very well, particularly Brent crude. Brent crude is doing very well. And that's what the Americans are looking for.
All right, so, the rest of the world, I suppose, ultimately cares about whether or not that Strait of Hormuz is reopened. How soon can we expect certainty around that?
Well, they have 30 days caveat built into this MOU that within 30 days, there must be complete opening of Strait of Hormuz. But there's also a condition that Iran and Oman must determine the question of the tariffs. That's the Iran's interpretation. Because the Iranians are of the view that they must keep on levying ships that are going through the Strait of Hormuz, because Iran occupies...
They're going to toll it, aren't they?
They're going to toll it, because Iran occupies the deeper side, which is within the territorial water of Iran. But the irony, Bongani, is that, again, Iran is not a member of the Treaty of the Sea, which really determine the territorial right of countries into that. So it's the U.S., but you can see this is a power projection and a power play that is likely to go on.
Well, where does all of this leave the relationship between the U.S. and Israel, particularly the current leaders, Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu? We understand that there was an expletive-laden phone call between the two men, with Trump telling Netanyahu that no one but he backs the state of Israel.
To be quite honest, Bongani, Israel would not have the military capacity to attack Iran without the U.S. support, because the distance between Tel Aviv and Tehran is about 1,900 kilometers. And for them to do that, they need air fueling. And the United States has the air fueling capacity. And they have withdrawn about 20% of their air tanks from Ben Gurion Airport. So without the U.S., Israel won't do anything, even though you see the far-right members within the coalition government in Israel, like Ben Gvir and so on. They're advocating that Israel is a sovereign and independent state. In actual sense, it's not.
But they've
depends
continued
so much.
But they've continued bombarding Lebanon, and it's one of the conditions of this MOA for them to cease doing so. Otherwise, all bets are off. So what does that all mean?
Absolutely. Iran actually, this morning, I've seen reports coming from Iran that if Israel continues to bombard Lebanon, they are going to take action. And the Iranians, they've never said something and they don't follow up on it. So they are likely to attack Israel. And I'm afraid that the Americans may then say to Israel, you are on your own, because this war is so unpopular in the U.S. It has shifted the support that Israel enjoyed for many years within the United States. I don't think there will be any sympathy for that.
What does the Bible say? Peace, peace, where there is no peace. Dr. Kingsley Makubela, appreciate your time.
EWN.
Business news, 29 after 7. Mateo, the investment firm Brait launches a 2.5 billion rand share offer.
Yeah, the company is putting its shares on sale to raise capital to pay its remaining legacy debt, strengthen the financial position of one of its investment, which is Virgin Active, and prepare the group for the eventual separation of its remaining assets. Brait is an investment holding company with a primary listing on the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, with a secondary listing here on the JSE. Brait's core asset portfolio includes investments in Premier Group, Virgin Active, and New Look. Brait's latest audited results for the financial year ended in March showed solid growth. Since March 2020, the company has cut its net debt from 7 billion rand to 1.7 billion, significantly improving its balance sheet and financial flexibility.
The markets?
Well, oil was in choppy trade this morning as markets assess the implications of the interim US-Iran deal and signs that shipping activity through the Strait of Hormuz is recovering. International benchmark Brent crude futures for the August delivery fell by 0.45% to $79 a barrel. Vice President J.D. Vance says tankers worth more than 12 million barrels across the Strait of Hormuz overnight, so there's already some movement there. The rand this morning, 16 rand 52 against the US dollar. It's a bit weaker. 18 rand 88 against the euro and 21 rand 75 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,125 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,652. Brent crude at $79 a barrel. More business after 8.
Sometimes the English get stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, doesn't it, Mutero? Good morning again, Sfisa Zulu.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. 4 people have been shot dead in another suspected gang-related attack in Cape Town. Police say 5 men were gathered outside a block of flats in Grassy Park last night when a car with several occupants emerged. They got out and opened fire at the group, killing 4 men aged between 32 and 44. Police spokesperson Novella Potelwa says the 5th victim is in hospital with serious injuries.
Western Cape Police have reinforced deployments in Grassy Park and neighboring stations following a shooting incident that left 4 men dead and 1 wounded on Thursday evening. The incident is believed to be linked to gang violence, and the anti-gang unit detectives are investigating with no arrests effected yet.
A 36-year-old man arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a Canadian tourist at the Kruger National Park is expected to appear in court soon. The suspect was arrested after an alleged accidental firearm discharge on Wednesday. Police say the Canadian tourist approached a private guide carrying a rifle and asked whether the firearm was real. During the apparent demonstration, the rifle allegedly discharged, fatally wounding the tourist in the upper body. Sand Park spokesperson JP Lowe says the organization is deeply hurt by the tragedy.
The guest was part of a group booked outside the park and only came in for a bush braai offered by the private concession with a valid permit to operate a facility within the park. Some Parks extends its heartfelt condolences to the family, friends and loved ones of the deceased during this difficult time.
And the Democratic Alliance says its national survey has exposed how more than half of the country's police stations are unreachable to the public. The party says its nationwide audit of 1,025 police stations was conducted across all 9 provinces using officially listed contact numbers. The party says a total of 571 stations did not answer, while more than 400 answered one or both listed numbers. The party says this is a constitutional crisis. And Lebanese militant group Hezbollah says its fighters have destroyed 3 Israeli tanks in the latest violence between them. The clashes were confirmed hours after Lebanese state media reported that Israeli strikes in the south had killed 3 people. The fighting came a day after the US and Iran signed an agreement to end the Middle East war on all fronts, including in Lebanon. Hezbollah drew Lebanon into the Middle East war in March by attacking Israel to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader at the start of the US-Israeli campaign in late February. Israel retaliated with broad strikes across Lebanon and by launching a ground invasion in the south, which borders Israel and has long been under Hezbollah's sway. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' spokesperson Stefan Dujarric says peacekeepers in Lebanon also reported exchanges of fire yesterday.
UNIFIL peacekeepers report that so far today, 143 trajectories of projectiles were observed. Of these, 119 were attributed to the Israeli Defense Forces, with the remainder to Hezbollah. Yesterday, 364 projectile launches were observed, of which 330 were attributed to the IDF and 34 to Hezbollah.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North between the Klulis Interchange and Morfontein Road. There's also queuing traffic in Melville. This is along Berry Herzog Avenue. Coming out of Sabi Road, an accident, a major one reported along this route. Please try to avoid, especially if you're heading towards Judith Road exit.
The top story this hour, 4 people have been shot dead in another suspected gang-related attack in Cape Town.
South Africa, your vote starts with registration.
Register to vote.
This Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st of June. Make sure you're registered to vote or check that your voter registration details are up to date.
To register where they ordinarily reside.
Whether you're registering for the first time or confirming your voting status, visit elections.org.za for everything you need to know. And stay informed with 702 Cape Talk and EWN for the latest updates, analysis, and developments throughout the registration weekend. Register, check, be counted.
For years, independent businesses have run on tools that were never built for them. Generic, disconnected, designed for big businesses, and then watered down for the small. Well, 11 years later, Yoco is giving independent businesses an unfair advantage. This week at Yoco Next, Yoco unveiled its latest innovations designed to help independent businesses move from survival mode to sustainable growth, introducing more than 20 new products and features designed to give South Africa's independent business the advantage they need to win. Yoco Loyalty, industry modes, Yoco Connect, and a preview of Yoco AI, which will learn each business's own sales patterns, costs, and staffing, flagging what's happening and what to do next before the owner even has to ask. They've got independent businesses getting access to world-class commerce technology. Visit yoco.com to learn more.
Doing your famous through meetings, in traffic, at the store. Don't let seasonal hay fever get in the way of a better you. Unite against allergies with Demazin once a day, providing 24-hour non-sedating relief from symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing, and itchy red eyes. Demazin gets it done. Speak to your pharmacist today about Demazin once a day.
Whether you're following every match or just the ones that matter most, stay connected to 702 Cape Talk and EWN.co.za to stay connected to the world's greatest game.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
702 is in conversation with Capitec, discussing how South Africans can protect themselves against financial crime.
Criminals really seek out society's most vulnerable, and often what we've seen is often your older parents or family members who are lonely or looking for companionship. So we generally see the profile being people in their 50s, 60s and 70s who may have accessible savings and a bit of a pension fund they've built up, and they come from a generation where trust is built up through conversation and consistent presence. Right, and what we've seen, as you said, is that these scammers invest weeks and often months in building what feels like a genuine relationship without even mentioning the money. And this is probably the most dangerous component. That by the time the trap is sprung, that emotional bond is now real, and that person, the victim, really feels they're in a legitimate relationship. And really, what you need to understand is that it's not one person sending out random messages.
Yeah.
These are really organized syndicates with scripts, teams of operators, and they know the psychological weapons to deploy.
Slam the scam with Capitec. Capitec is an authorized financial services provider and registered credit provider.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani, Radio 702. So, listening to Dr. Makbela, what is he talking about? A better deal. The reason why this war and conflict started is because Iran continued with their weapons development, uranium enrichment. That was the main reason for this war. What do you mean it's a better deal? Trump took them on. He swiftly knocked out their military and their capabilities of developing these weapons. So I don't see where Dr. Makabela's framing it as we had a better deal with Barack Obama. It was far worse because they continued to develop it.
I think maybe Dr. Makubele has read a little bit more than you have, hey? I think that's why he might be saying what he is saying. And under this deal, of course, they're going to continue enriching uranium. They say for civilian purposes. But there's a whole lot more this deal doesn't force the Iranians to do that the Obama deal did. Maybe read up as much as Dr. Makubela, and you might know why he says what he says.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. A chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. Today's answer comes from Peter. Peter is in Vosloorus, I'm told. Peter, what's today's answer, please?
The answer is 4.
The answer is 4. Ooh, that's a tricky one, Peter. Tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes.
Yes. Well, 1,000 Rand is coming your way, Peter in Vosloorus. Thank you for that answer. 4 is the answer, Peter says. What on earth might be the question? If you know, pick up the phone. Dial 011 8830 702.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, we're keeping hope alive.
Oh, yes.
It's what kills us,
Sometimes,
doesn't it?
yes, I was about to say, sometimes we might keep it alive, but it might be the thing that kills us. Hysterical, Bongani. Yes, Bafana drawing with Czechia 1-1 last night in the World Cup. We'll have more for you in the World Cup desk at the end of this bulletin. First, though, the Bulls taking on Leinster tonight in the final of the United Rugby Championship at 8:30. Captain Marcel Coetzee.
We've been privileged enough to play a few URC finals. It was a new season. The character shown by the boys throughout the whole season. It was an enjoyable journey. And to end up here at Grove Park with a bunch of special guys, I think I've rated this one of the best venues to play on. And it's going to be a great occasion.
Springboks open their season against the Barbarians tomorrow at 3 after South Africa has played Zimbabwe. Both Chituka brothers in action. Emmanuel, who was born in Congo, both brothers born in Congo. But we're talking about Emmanuel, who grew up in South Africa and is not taking the call up for granted.
honor and privilege for myself and my brother. I think 18 months ago, we didn't even think it's possible to be in this environment. We're just super grateful, super excited to be in this environment and to rub shoulders with some of the best players in the world. And our families, our wives and everyone that's around us, our friends, is really excited and happy for us, even more so us. We're really so honored and privileged to be in this environment.
Golf's third major of the year, the US Open, had horrendous morning conditions. Wyndham Clark capitalized on the better afternoon. He's 6 under, leading by 4, but has 2 holes to play. McIlroy finished on 1 under. World number 1 Scheffler was 8 off the pace on 2 over. At the Women's T20 World Cup, the Proteas have to beat India on Sunday. Only the top 2 sides from the group go through to the semi-finals, and at the moment, India and Australia are the unbeaten sides in that group. And in Cape Town tonight, the FIH Men's Hockey Nations Cup, South Africa's playing New Zealand in the semi-final.
The EWN World Cup Desk. The latest scores, the biggest stories, and the moments everyone's talking about.
Well, the country's World Cup dream's still alive after Bafana held Czechia 1-1. South African fans were doubtful after Sadlik scored the quickest goal at this World Cup, needing just 5 minutes and 7 seconds to put Czechia ahead last night. Coach Hugo Bross admits his side was way better in the second half.
I think Bafana made a very good game. Certainly the second half, we were constantly on the half of Czechia, and the only thing Czechia did was long balls in front. I think we deserve more.
In the last 6 minutes, the Czechia handball gave Bafana the chance to go level, with Mokoena stepping up to take the penalty.
This to level in Atlanta. And for South Africa, this has to go in. Mokoena puts it in the corner. They are still alive in this World Cup.
Here's the hero of the night, Mokoena.
I never thought as a kid I'll be here. It's a dream come true. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I'm proud of the team. We got all the support. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm so excited. The way we fought today, I think everyone back home is proud, and yeah, man, we showed up. I think we showed up today.
But Bafana won't have Mokoena for Thursday's must-win game with South Korea. He was shown a second yellow card last night and is suspended. Mexico did South Africa a favour, beating South Korea this morning 1-0. Overnight, Canada cruising to a 6-0 win over Qatar, but it cost them gruesome scenes as Ishmael Cohn broke his leg in that match. Switzerland beat a 10-man Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. All 5 goals coming in the last 16 minutes of that match. Imagine you'd stayed up. You're like, this game's going nowhere. There's 16 minutes left. 5 goals. And then tonight's game, USA against Australia. Scotland playing Morocco at midnight. Something we never thought we'd say. Tomorrow morning, Brazil going for their first win of the tournament. They're playing at 2:30 against Haiti. And then at 5 a.m, Turkey against Paraguay. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
From kickoff to the final whistle, this is the EWN World Cup Desk.
The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people. Sunday, 26 July, as Cindy would say, babiza bonke. But why don't you get a taste of what the Walk the Talk will be like? This Sunday, Josie My Josie is having another Main Street Sundays takeover. Marshalltown, we're going to flip the script on how Josie ought to move. So a whole street in the heart of the city, close to cars, just people vibes, man. And that Main Street magic. 702 Soulful Sunday with Kenny and Pushaza will also be there, broadcasting live from Main Street Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's Father's Day, so maybe if you don't want the intimate family lunch, bring your family along. Go to josiemyjosie.com for all the details to grab your free tickets. You'll also be able to register for the Walk the Talk at Main Street Sundays, or you can just go to primemediaplus.com now and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Joburg.
Keep moving through 6 a.m. call times, the rain, dirt tracks, and moving through tight deadlines. Because you move with purpose, from the first stop to the final drop. The Hino 700 truck tractor comes standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty and advanced safety features tailored to your industry. The Hino 700 is built to fuel your business's progress. Hino, all the way.
Ah, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers 2 options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual-action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple-action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
It's your last chance to enter the Nedbank Business Ignite on 702. Entries are closing soon. Remember, this year we're celebrating entrepreneurs who've turned personal challenges into businesses that make a real difference. You can catch the finalists on 702 Breakfast every morning and hear their inspiring stories. Go to igniteyourbusiness.co.za or Primedia Plus to enter. You could win 200,000 Rand, the recognition your business deserves. T's and C's apply. Nedbank, see money differently. An authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
EWN Traffic.
13 to 8, the CWN Traffic brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. Somebody's crashed in Melville, Amo.
That's correct, Bongani, in Melville along Barry Herzog Avenue right near Judith Road, causing heavy traffic volumes. Please try to avoid, if you can, Empire Road is still your best route along with the main road. Otherwise, if you are traveling along the N1 North, do expect delays between Malibongo Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive, while in four ways we've got roadworks taking place on the N1 South approaching Winnie Mandela Drive, causing delays as a result. There's also queuing traffic in Paulshof along Witgoppen Road towards Rivonia Road exit. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. With keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay, it's made to look good and to make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. Register now for the limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Hi South Africa, I'm Michael Owen. If you appreciate world-class sport and a great occasion, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the place to be. The theme for 2026 is Country Allure, which sees the rustic style of the countryside meet the cosmopolitan cool of the city. On Saturday the 4th of July, it all comes together at Hollywood Bets Greyville, Africa's greatest horse racing and social event. I'll see you there.
Energy reform is beginning to stabilize supply, but South Africa is not yet out of the woods. The Industrial Development Corporation offers energy solutions for industrialization by financing large-scale energy infrastructure projects to generate change. Do so with the Industrial Development Corporation. Visit idc.co.za for funding now.
If you're a fan of the beautiful game, you'll recognize this. And this. But what about this? It's your chance to score big time. Win your share of up to 2 million Rand with Standard Bank. It's game day every day. To enter, open and use any qualifying Standard Bank account, in-app or in branch. Already a Standard Bank customer? Sign up for Standard Bank Connect online to get a bonus entry. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
It's that time of the year. Sore throats, congestion, wet and dry coughs, pain and fever. For trusted relief for you and your family, ask your pharmacist to recommend a winter survival pack from the Adcock Ingram OTC range. With products like Medikeel A, Expigen, Corenza Paracy, Adco Napamol, Dilinct Junior and more, we have you covered this winter. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Artsurance. Please tell me, what's the question if the answer is 4? Let's go to the lines and see who has the answer. Zweli in Randburg, what's the question?
Hi, Bongani. The question is as, how many songs hit the charts sung by the American singer Paula Abdul on her debut album?
Yes, indeed. It was a record to be matched by Mariah Carey, I think, who also had 4 number ones from her debut album. It is her birthday, born on this day in 1962. Zweli, 2,000 Rand in cash is coming your way. All thanks to Artsurance and 702. This was the song that started it all.
Then baby, I'm moving.
1989 was the year. She followed up this song with Forever Your Girl, Cold, Cold, Snake, or Cold Hearted, I think it was. And then, of course, Opposites. Tracked. Happy birthday, Paula Abdul.
Good morning, Bongani. I am with my sons in my car, and when you started singing, he actually thought you were part of the song. Yeah, you are very good, my guy.
Morning, Bongan. Bongan, stop playing games. When are you releasing your album? Why are you playing with this talent? You know you've got such a great voice. Please release an album. As a belief toch.
Outsurance can't improve your couch coaching skills. But they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. When it comes to car insurance, you couldn't be in better hands. Outsurance was voted News 24 Short-Term Insurer of the Year for 4 years in a row. Beal to Reader's Choice Best Insurer 4 years in a row. And City Press Reader's Choice Best Insurer Award 3 years in a row. Clearly, they all feel they're getting something out. SMS right now to see if you can switch and save. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Winter has entered the chat, and honestly, nobody wants that. Cold tiles, foggy windows, that one room nobody wants to sit in, and a dog who is pretty sure this is somehow your fault. Luckily, Chamberlain's winter savings are here from 18 June to 12 July. Warm up your home with great deals on heaters, firewood, anthracite, geyser blankets, insulation, paint, and more. Plus, stock up on Jog Dog food for only 398 Rand. Because they might not like winter, but they'll love that. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
That's Fani, before he got naked. Fani's insurance premium went up for no reason, irritating him more than when the boys ignored the really funny meme he posted in the group chat. What? So Fani got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Go Fani. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Let's catch up now with the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
I was blind, but now I see. I was lost, but I am found.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you lose something, it is the most frustrating thing in the world because you think you put it somewhere, but you just can't find it. So this guy had lost an earpod, one of the earpods, right? And he thought the dog that had taken it and eaten it. And, you know, for 2 weeks, he looked at this dog very angrily and not very impressed. Until he realized that he took, it's like a croc-looking kind of shoe. So it's got quite wide grooves underneath the sole. And he took that shoe and he just turned it upside down. And there it was, lodged between one of the grooves underneath his shoe. So he'd been walking around with this earpod underneath his shoe the whole time and only found it 2 weeks later. Doff, I know. So it got me thinking about things that you have lost and found in maybe a bizarre place, things that a place that you thought you'd never find it, days or weeks later. What did you lose and found a couple of days later? Once on my birthday, I had too many brandies, and my missus said, listen, let me take your phone just in case you lose it. So off she went, disappeared, woke up the next morning. That phone was nowhere to be found for days, couldn't find it. And I couldn't even find my iPhone passwords, nothing like that. So we left the place where we were. A couple of days later, the lady who looks after the place came back to us and said, we found your phone. Where was it? Down the toilet. It had been flushed down the toilet and in the septic tank because the toilet had got blocked a couple of days later. So that's mine. What's yours?
I'll tell you mine after 8. What did you lose You blamed everybody else. You were upset. You cried. You moaned. You groaned. And then you found it.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Citroen. Visit your nearest dealerships this June. Test drive or purchase any Citroen and stand to win an all-expenses-paid world-class rugby experience to South Africa versus New Zealand on the 5th of September. T's and C's apply. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got heavy traffic volumes in Melville. This is along Peri Herzog Avenue near Judith Road. A major accident seen along this route, causing about a 20-minute hold-up. Please try to use alternative routes around the area because you'll be stuck here for more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, there's also queuing traffic on the Mike 1 North approaching Preston Drive. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Good morning, Mzansi. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's Thursday.
No.
TGIF, am I right?
Citroen Super Saturday is back. Yes. Test drive or buy any Citroen and stand to win a world-class rugby experience. South Africa versus New Zealand, 5 September. Double your entries with the all-new Citroen Basalt from 354,900 Rand up to 40,000 Rand deal assist. Book at citroen.co.za. Runs till 30 June. T's and C's apply.
702.
702.
Feedback.
With Rupfiwa Kone.
Rupfiwa Kone, lost and found. You
Yes.
remember I had some friends over just the other day at my house and I was moaning and groaning about a missing charger. I made inquiries.
Yes.
I
And blamed
cursed.
people.
Well, I said it may have disappeared. But
Looking
I found
directly at me.
I found it.
I've lost a few things as well, Bongani. I've actually lost my keys, called a locksmith, replaced the keys. You know how that costs.
And then it was in
right?
your other bag.
And then it was lodged behind a cupboard at home. So
It happens to the
after-
best of
yeah,
us.
so
All right,
it does
reactions.
Well-
Lots of them coming thick and fast, by the
Mhm.
way, on our YouTube page. Some criticism for the Action SA leader, Herman
Leader,
Mashaba. Some
yes.
support as well.
And-
Also disagreement on whether or not this deal with Trump is in fact more positive or negative compared to the previous one.
Lots of reaction coming through from the listeners about Herman Mashaba, saying they are quite disappointed at that interview, slightly, with those who support him, saying that you were a little bit too hard on him, Gancane, because they do support what he is for. They do agree that something needs to be done about the immigration crisis. But however, Bongani, there are those who have come through saying that even though they don't support the immigration protests themselves, they are worried that the 30th of June is going to ignite so much violence, and that's their greatest concern. And also, Bongani, on a lighter note, there are those messages that actually came through with people paying tribute to their partners, just giving us a little bit hope about their partners. People are in love out there. Their relationships are
Listen,
actually working,
The best
guys.
was not 1 in a million, but a million in one. Oh.
This is EWN.
Lesicha Sinona is expected to answer more questions at the Madlanga Commission today, and the Deputy President has a warning for companies breaking labour laws. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Today promises to be an eventful day at the Madlanga Commission as tainted KwaZulu-Natal Hawks boss Lesicha Sinona is expected to return to the hot seat. Sinona has been placed at the center of several controversies, including a multi-million rand drug theft and a meeting with suspected crime boss Vusmuzi Kat Matlala. His much-anticipated return comes after several postponements, with the latest being the unavailability of his lawyers. Khomozo Modise has more.
There's a lot for General Lesicha Sinona to explain as he returns to the Madlanga Commission this morning. During his first appearance, he faced tough questions on the 2021 cocaine theft from the Hawks office in Port Shepstone. On Wednesday, KZN Hawks official Campbell Newswa testified that only Sinona had the keys to the strong room and he was not convinced that it had been broken into when the drugs were stolen. Since his testimony in January, more witnesses have given testimony implicating Sinona in wrongdoing. He's also been placed on precautionary suspension with his state gadgets seized. Khomozo Modise, Eyewitness News.
Crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo's lawyers say the NPA's investigative directorate against corruption was instructed to slap him with a warrant of arrest. Khumalo and KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi presented themselves at the Brooklyn Police Station in Pretoria yesterday following a request by IDEC. But when they arrived, they were told by investigators that senior IDEC officials had directed them not to carry out the alleged warrant of arrest. It's not clear why they were called in for questioning and what specific matters the NPA is investigating. Alfara Mushwana reports.
KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says he first heard through a friend earlier this week that IDEC was planning to arrest him. He says he did not take the information seriously until his close friend and crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo was instructed to present himself for questioning.
We're not saying that we are immune from being investigated. If there are things we did wrong, by all means. So if you are administering justice, you've got a warrant of arrest to a person, arrest a person.
Khumalo's lawyer, James Ndebele, says IDEC is playing games with his client.
It's embarrassing for my clients to be put at great expense, to have an attorney instructed to attend the police station with them at the request of IDEC, only for IDEC not to pitch.
Mkhwanazi says IDEC now has to explain why it failed to arrest him and Khumalo despite claiming to have a warrant of arrest. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Deputy President Paul Mashatile has not ruled out naming and shaming businesses who employ undocumented migrants. Mashatile says this will be in addition to the hefty fines that the government will be imposing on businesses who break labour laws. Mashatile was responding to National Council of Provinces questions yesterday, where he was questioned about protests led by organisations such as March and March. Babalo Ndenza reports.
The introduction of the Employment Services Amendment Bill in Parliament will see significant changes, including stricter measures to regulate the employment of foreign nationals. New regulations will also see penalties of 100,000 rand for employers who employ undocumented foreigners, a penalty that can escalate to 1 million rand or jail time for repeat offenders. Paul Mashatile was asked by some members of the NCOP yesterday whether the government will consider naming the offenders.
Maybe they must know that there will be a heavy fine in addition to naming and shaming, because we must stop that practice.
Mashatile also says police must act decisively against vigilantism.
The state cannot be accused of connivance in acts of violence against citizens or anybody else.
Mashatile says they've also met with traditional leaders to communicate the government's position. Babalo Ndenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And US Vice President J.D. Vance is now expected to arrive in Switzerland over the weekend to discuss next steps with the US-Iran agreement on ending the war in the Middle East. Vance was supposed to be in Geneva today, but the White House announced last night that his trip had been cancelled or delayed. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Moshtaba Khamenei said last night that he had approved the agreement despite reservations, even as the United States lifted a blockade of Iranian ports. The signing of the deal on Wednesday by Trump and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian set a motion of a 60-day period for talks on wider issues between the two foes, including the Iranian nuclear program. Iran's chief negotiator Mohammad Bagher Khalibaf has warned against any breach of the agreement, saying Tehran will respond decisively to any breach. Vance told reporters at the White House that the deal is a win for the U.S.
If the Iranians don't change their behavior, their military and their nuclear program is still destroyed. If they do change their behavior, then they are going to have a transformative relationship with the Middle East, and the Middle East will have a transformative relationship with the people of Iran. That's a win for the American people and for the President of the United States.
Gold's trading at $4,138.02 an ounce. The rand is at 16.51 to the dollar, 21.77 to the pound, 18.86 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $79.88 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got a major accident scene in Melville along Bir Herzog Avenue. It happened right near Judith Road, causing about a 20-minute hold-up. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road.
And in your sport, Bafana's Tebogo Bokwena says it's a dream come true, scoring the equalising penalty in the 1-1 draw with Czechia last night, the World Cup.
I never thought as a kid I'll be here. It's a dream come true. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I'm proud of the team.
In the same group, Mexico beat South Korea 1-0. The Bulls battle Leinster in the URC final tonight at 8:30. And Springbok season officially opens tomorrow at 3 against the Barbarians.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour today promises to be an eventful day at the Madlanga Commission as tainted KwaZulu-Natal Hawks boss Lesetja Sinona is expected to return to the hot seat.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
America, when the war is won, the world, we will be sure. So sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. Glory. Oh, glory. Glory. Grab your ticket and your suitcase. Thunder's rolling down the trail.
See trees of green.
Who knew that one of Barack Obama's favorite songs was What a Wonderful World? And you are hearing Christina Aguilera there in the background. But there were other artists there. Stevie Wonder, Mark Anthony, Bono from U2, Jennifer Hudson, John Legend, Common, Bruce Springsteen. This was at the opening of the new Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. And what a speech by Michelle Obama praising her husband.
Please indulge me for a moment because I'm going to take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises. Barack, you got to look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe.
What would you say about your partner or spouse? What's the best thing about them? What's the greatest thing about them? You want to shout it out from the rooftops. Amo, have you ever laughed at an inappropriate moment? Say it's a funeral or a wedding or something that's serious, an event that's serious.
I have.
You would never do that, would you?
I have.
Mateo, she would never do that, would she?
No.
Shame. So at this moment, you've got all the living presidents, except for the incumbent. Bill and Hillary are sitting right behind the Obamas as they're giving their speeches. And there's a point at which Michelle is talking about Barack receiving a peace prize. And you hear these peals of laughter from Hillary Clinton. Of course, the internet is speculating that as the Secretary of State, she was laughing at what some may feel is an undeserved Nobel Peace Prize. I suspect she was laughing at something entirely different. But we'll never know, will we?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Elaine is on the line. You've been married for 49 years, Elaine, I'm told.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about your hubby?
My husband is the best provider in the whole world. My husband was the best father to our children and now father to our grandchildren. My husband is just the best. For 49 years, I have been married to my husband, Leonard, and we are still together and we are still sleeping in the same room, in the same bed, and sharing or everything in our lives together.
Elaine, tell me, when is your actual anniversary?
The 15th of January.
So what are you planning for your Golden Jubilee?
Oh, I'm telling you, I want a band because we used to dance, to do long arm dance, you know.
Yeah.
So I would like to have a band and in a hall and with all our friends.
Oh, well, congratulations. 49 years of a life well spent together.
9 years. My husband was an educator. I am still an educator. And he still does things. He was chairman of the Ratepayers Association. He was on the creches. Oh, let me tell you this. So the creche had a dance to fundraise, and they came and they said, "Can we sell you a ticket to the dance?" He says, "No, I can't, because my back is gonna be so sore from dancing with the creche children."
Elaine, love to hear those stories of love and sunshine. It's a Friday. Tembile, you're in Centurion. You want to talk about Bafana Bafana?
Good morning, Bongani. Happy Friday. Yes, when I saw the starting lineup, I became excited.
Yeah.
I said, before we even start the game, because that's the team that was supposed to start against Mexico and other players. I was happy about how they played the game. And Bongani, I'm a Chiefs supporter. I was telling my son, they must just put the Orlando Pirates team there in that team. You know, because those players we know. No, I'm being honest. I mean, we know Arile, Apolis, Mahoba. I wanted Mahoba to start the game. Look at when he came in, how he was bulldozing those big guys. They must just start Mahoba in the games against the last game. They must start Mahoba. They must start Rile Mufukeng. Apolis was a star for me.
Against the Koreans, eh?
Yes, Koreans. And I'm telling you, if you can start right, Bongani, we'll definitely beat. And this team, Bongani, is going to go very far in the tournament. And remember one thing about the World Cup. In 2010, Spain lost their first game, went on to win the World Cup. 2022, lost the first game.
So you want the 19th of July to be a public holiday, hey, Tembile?
No. I'm not saying we're going to win the World Cup, but I think we're going to give a great show in this tournament.
We can do something.
Let him play the right place. Yeah, we'll do something.
We'll
definitely do something.
All right, Tembile. Yeah. Very generous praise, by the way, as a Chiefs supporter. We'll take it. We're all in this together now. It's all about national, or what do they say? Dumisole, country duty.
EWN.
8:15, the CWN traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. The N3 North is a spot of bother. Amo?
Indeed, Bongani, delays between the Yelands interchange and the Geldenhuys interchange, an earlier accident there, as well as roadworks. And then, of course, if you're traveling in Melville, heading towards Imarentia, unfortunately, we still have got that accident on Berry Herzog near Judith Road, causing about a 20-minute hold up there. Please try to avoid while traveling in Paulshof, queuing traffic just as you approach the Rivonia Road exit along Witkoppen Road. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Seeing the Outsurance Pointsman on your route is that feeling like you get in a movie when it all seems hopeless, when the hero swoops in to save the day. It just makes you feel good, right? When Bafana Bafana lose their first game and you see them come back with a better selection and a better team and a better play. Well, the Outsurance Pointsman will give you that feeling. The traffic heroes who ease congestion, helping everyone get to where they need to be quickly and safely for 20 years. Just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
John, where are you rushing to?
Sure, I'm off to SARS. I need to check if I must file.
Wait! SARS sends auto-assessment notices from 1 to 12 July.
Done. Just like that?
Yes. If you get a notice of assessment, check it. If it's correct, you're done. If it's incorrect or you did not receive one, file from 13 July on e-filing or the SARS Mobi app.
It could already be done.
This filing season, experience the power of done. Expect your auto-assessment notice from 1 to 12 July or file from 13 July via e-filing or the SARS Mobi app. Go to sars.gov.za. SARS, at your service.
It's time to get revved up.
The Motor Select Rev Up sale is on, and we've got thousands of quality pre-owned vehicles at unbeatable prices. That's everything from city cars to 4x4s. Offer ends 30 June, so get to motorselect.co.za now.
Kaelo Lifestyle, a mental wellness and support program for employees and their families, is calling on you to take a step towards better mental health. As the mental wellness partner of 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, Kaelo is bringing even more purpose to the walk. From checking in with yourself to celebrating connection, every step is designed to support your well-being. So rally your team and walk for mental wellness. Visit primemediaplus.com for more information. Kaelo Lifestyle, changing lives and improving business. On 702, let's walk the talk.
Every small business that dares to disrupt the industry deserves a shot at leveling up. Thanks to Nedbank Business Ignite on 702.
In this year's Nedbank Business Ignite with 702, we're recognizing and rewarding small businesses solving real problems because they've lived them. So we're talking about businesses built from real experience, where challenge has been turned into solution. We've been asking businesses to enter the Nedbank Business Ignite with 702 to stand a chance to win 200,000 Rand, mentorship, national exposure, and support beyond banking with Simply Biz. As always, Tuli Makubane, our mentor, the founder and director of Mint Fresh Technology Solutions, is here in the studio to tell us about our next finalist. This business, IPA Industrial.
It is
Tell
an
us more about
unusual
it.
name. Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to the listeners. So Ipa, she has to explain to us the name, because if you're closer, it means something.
It means there it is.
So there it is.
There it is, Darcy.
So Ipa Industrial is actually quite an interesting company. You know, a lot of people recycle plastic, and it's usually softer plastic and bottles. They basically source the harder plastics from old pipes and buckets and things like that. And they've actually managed to create a niche for themselves where they are one of the preferred suppliers for companies who procure pipes and make pipes, because their raw material is regarded as sustainable. So they are a green company, so to say, and a lot of companies in different industries prefer to use them. And over and above that, they're black, they're female owned, so ticks all the boxes.
All the boxes indeed. Well, Funa Masuku is, of course, the brains behind IPA Industrial. Let's start with the name. What prompted that name?
Actually, it's a short name for my son. My son's name is Ipa Geme. So I just shortened it to make it IPA.
IPA?
IPA.
You just work with my spin on it.
Yes.
IPA.
So the long should have been IPA Geme.
Oh, I see.
Yes, IPA.
All right. So what problem did you try to solve?
Okay, so when we started the business, we realized that there is a shortage of raw material. It was soon after COVID, that's in 2020, 2021. And our customers, mainly they bought their raw material from outside the country. That is virgin material plastic that they normally use to make new plastic containers. But because during that time, things were just hectic, we came up with a test to say we need hard material.
Give us a little more of your background. Why was this an issue for you to solve in the first place?
Okay. I come from a procurement background.
Right.
I've been working as a buyer for about 10, 15 years. So when I resigned from the company, I started doing procurement on my own. And we'll get requests for stationery, requests for cleaning material. But then I got requests for plastic recycled raw material. I'm like, what is this? I had to Google.
So you were trying to source this.
I was trying to source this in the supply chain and getting from other recyclers. So I used to subcontract people to do this for me until I said, they were not doing it right. And then I said, let me just get to this on my own.
And now what? Your company processes over 100 tons of plastic per month?
That is very low for us. It is, it is a lot, but that's not our target. We're looking to do double that.
How soon?
Very soon. We just need to beef up our machinery, our equipment. Then you can do it double.
Look, everybody talks about ESG these days, especially corporates. So
Yes.
how have you positioned then your business to be the go-to supplier for the companies and the customers you work with?
Okay, we have established very strong relationship with our customers. actually both our customers and our suppliers. We have got consistency in our supply. Our customers really depend on us. We meet our deadlines and we could give them good volumes. We don't do small volumes, we do like large volumes, like I'll just give you an example. This morning we're just sending 20 ton to one supplier, to one customer.
That's what happens when you take over and you make sure you do it right, right?
Yes. We've mastered the game, and we're in a very high position. Like I'll just give you an example to say, I think in Johannesburg, if you look for HD raw material, someone will give you my name.
Love the passion. Love
I
the
know,
confidence.
and for me, I can't wrap my head around 100 tons of plastic.
Being small.
But besides, I just can't imagine it.
Right?
I'm sure this room is too small to
Yeah.
contain 100 tons of plastic.
And she says it's too small.
Yes, and so we spoke about trying to get funding for her so that she can procure more machinery, because the demand is definitely there and her clients love her. So, and I guess other people who are listening and they're looking for this type of raw material are going to be calling her after this.
And she says that's the name you get, IPA
Yes.
Industrial. Funa, good luck to you and your
you.
team.
Thank you, Bongani.
And congratulations on being a finalist for this year's Nedbank Business Ignite.
Thank you so much,
702.
Bongani, and thank you to Tuli.
702.
The Worldview.
23 after 8, let's catch up with news from elsewhere in the world. John Adderley with us this morning once more. John, let's start with the US-Iran deal. I mean, we've been talking about it all week. So it's now been inked?
It has. And of course, now we see what actually happens in practice. US Central Command has confirmed that it's ended its blockade of Iranian ports, saying on social media that this is in accordance with the president's direction, although some US vessels will remain in the general area. The US Vice President J.D. Vance says the accord between America and Iran is already bearing fruit, with 12.5 million barrels of oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz since it was signed. Now, the Trump administration is coming in for some criticism that it made too many concessions to Tehran, but the Vice President J.D. Vance is insisting that Washington held all the cards in negotiations towards a permanent peace. So what happens next? The two sides are expected to start talks in Switzerland in the coming days, although J.D. Vance this morning has suggested that maybe there could be a delay on that happening, so we'll see what happens there. We're also hearing for the first time since the deal was signed from Iran's supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, says that President Trump, out of desperation, used all kinds of leverage to bring the deal about. And he said Tehran will not give in if Washington makes excessive demands in talks to make the peace permanent. And Iran's supreme leader said, while there will be in-person negotiations in the future between Tehran and Washington, this will not mean acceptance of the enemy's position. So I think what we can see there is it's one thing to have the deal signed. What actually now plays out in practice over the coming hours and days will be really crucial. And I think it's also highly relevant that the violence is continuing in Lebanon, despite the Memorandum of Understanding saying that all related hostilities must end. So I think we've got some way to go yet.
So as one war cools down, John, the other is heating up. The Russian foreign minister saying they're going to launch retaliatory strikes against Ukraine.
Yeah, close to 200 drones were fired towards the Russian capital. The attacks set a Russian oil refinery ablaze and damaged buildings, injured 17 people. There were specks of black oil raining down on parts of Moscow, and columns of thick smoke could be seen billowing high into the sky. So, yeah, Ukraine really hitting back big time. Russia does frequently launch mass bombardments of Ukraine, so it's not clear whether this latest threat from Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will actually mean an escalation of those attacks. We'll wait and see. What Ukraine is saying, that it's just striking back as a fair response to what's coming at them. President Zelensky told a meeting of NATO defense ministers that pressure on Russia must be increased to get it to end the war. And he said the drone strike on Moscow was an answer to last week's Russian attack on Kyiv, which set a significant monastery on fire. We don't want this war and have never wanted it, President Zelensky said. But he added, if Ukraine burns, Moscow will burn too. Meanwhile, Ukraine and Germany have signed an agreement to cooperate on countering ballistic missiles, which remain quite a problem for Ukrainian air defences. So, yeah, absolutely, that war is absolutely still raging on at a very high pace.
John, it's a little by-election, but it could determine the next crown prince of the Labour Party.
It could. This is hugely significant. This by-election's been coming for a number of weeks, and it's been won by Labour's Andy Burnham in Greater Manchester, where he's the mayor at the moment. But he's now on his way back to Westminster, having won this by-election. And Andy Burnham has made it no secret whatsoever that he wants to take on Sir Keir Starmer. He can't do that as Greater Manchester mayor, but of course he can do it now he's back at Westminster as an MP. And it was a really comfortable victory as well over Reform UK's Robert Kenyon, who was seen as his biggest challenger. So, yeah, we are now in for a roller coaster ride. This is making headlines everywhere today, and I think it will do for quite a few days in a row here in the UK, because Andy Burnham's made it very clear he would join any Labour leadership contest, although up to now, he said he wouldn't be the one to fire the starting gun on the race. He's hoping someone else will do that. We'll wait and see. In his victory speech overnight, Andy Burnham said Labour must heed the voters' call for change. He said, everyone knows politics isn't working. Tonight could be the turning point. He said it could be a final chance for change. There'll be no second chance. Andy Burnham couldn't have hoped for a better result than this. We're expecting a victory rally in Greater Manchester later today, but the focus from now on really is not on Andy Burnham, it's what the Prime Minister is saying over the coming hours. And he's already posted on X this morning congratulating Andy Burnham and saying voters chose Labour's campaign of hope and optimism over division and hate. In the normal game, you'd expect Keir Starmer to give Andy Burnham maybe a job in government to welcome him back, but that is not happening. What we expect to happen is a Labour leadership campaign, and this result could mean that Keir Starmer's days at number 10 are even more fewer than they were before.
Fasten your seatbelts. It could be a bumpy ride. John Adderley with this morning's Worldview. EWN. 29 after 8, wrapping up business for the morning. Mateo, this is a worry. One of South Africa's largest medical aid schemes now under threat.
Yeah, the medical schemes regulator has raised concerns about GEM's medical aid, saying the company's plans to lower contributions is financially unsound and risks dropping its solvency ratio below 25%. The solvency ratio measures a medical aid's financial health, indicating its ability to pay clients. Now, South African schemes are required by Regulation 29 of the Medical Schemes Act to maintain a statutory minimum reserve level of 25% of gross and annual contributions. Current projections for GEM's medical aid indicate a drop between 21 and 22% with no recovery plan. GEM's solvency ratio was 24.7% at the end of 2025, managing 65 billion rand in annual contributions.
Oh, that's a real worry. Let's talk about what's going right. Investment firm Brait looking good?
Yeah, the company is putting its shares on sale to try and raise capital to pay its remaining legacy debt and to try and also strengthen the financial position of one of its investments, Virgin Active, and prepare the group for the eventual separation of its remaining investments. Now, Brait is an investment holding company with a primary listing on the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, with its secondary listing here on the JSE. The company's core asset portfolio includes investments in Premier Group, Virgin Active and New Look. Brait's latest audited results showed strong results. Since 2020 in March, the company has cut its net debt from 7 billion rand to about 1.7 billion. So doing well, getting rid of that debt, significantly improving its balance sheet.
Your markets?
Well, the rand, 16 rand 49 against the US dollar. It's down 0.5% this morning, 18 rand 85 against the euro and 21 rand 75 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down 1.5% at $4,139 an ounce, or platinum is also in the red at $1,671. Brent crude now at exactly $80 a barrel. Stephen Grotes to wrap up the week in business later this afternoon.
Go straight to the news desk. Gang violence in Cape Town, a worry. Sfisa Zulu.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. 4 people have been shot dead in another suspected gang violent attack in Cape Town. Police say 5 men were gathered outside a block of flats in Grassy Park last night when a car with several occupants emerged. They then got out of the car and opened fire at the group, killing 4 men aged between 32 and 44. Police spokesperson Novela Potelwa says the 5th victim is in hospital with serious injuries.
Western Cape Police have reinforced deployments in Grassy Park and neighboring stations following a shooting incident that left 4 men dead and 1 wounded on Thursday evening. The incident is believed to be linked to gang violence, and the anti-gang unit detectives are investigating with no arrests effected yet.
The MK party says it remains steadfast in holding all its members to the same standards of discipline and conduct. It follows the expulsion of former MP Duduzile Zuma Sambudla and the party spokesperson Ntamulo Ndlela, who are accused of a sustained pattern of ill discipline. The party alleges the pair made public statements and engaged in activities that contravened its constitution. Koskona Malingamnisi reports.
The MK party says Duduzile Zuma Sambula's conduct, including publicly challenging party decisions and advancing factional narratives, was unacceptable and inconsistent with party discipline. Ntamulo Ndlela is accused of repeatedly acting outside established party protocols, including communicating on party matters without following appropriate channels. The controversy has been further deepened by allegations that the two interfered in the medical care of a party MP who later died. The party claims they became involved in the MP's treatment without consulting his family. Meanwhile, the MK party has issued a strong warning against factionalism, saying divisive politics undermine organizational unity and will be dealt with decisively. Or see Kona Maningamnisi Eyewitness News.
The DA says its national survey has exposed how more than half of the country's police stations are unreachable to the public. The party says its nationwide audit of 1,025 police stations was conducted across all 9 provinces using officially listed contact numbers. The party says a total of 571 stations did not answer, while more than 400 answered one or both listed numbers. Party spokesperson Jan de Villiers is calling this a constitutional crisis.
More than half our police stations cannot be reached by telephone. This is not a bureaucratic failure, it is a constitutional crisis. A police service that cannot be contacted is a police service that cannot protect.
And Lebanese militant group Hezbollah says its fighters have destroyed 3 Israeli tanks in the latest violence between them. The clashes were confirmed hours after Lebanese state media reported that Israeli strikes in the south had killed 3 people. The fighting came a day after the US and Iran signed an agreement to end the Middle East war on all fronts, including in Lebanon. Hezbollah drew Lebanon into the Middle East war in March by attacking Israel to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader at the start of the US-Israeli campaign. Israel retaliated with broad strikes across Lebanon and by launching a ground invasion in the south, which borders Israel and has long been under Hezbollah's sway. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' spokesperson Stefan Dujarric says peacekeepers in Lebanon also reported exchanges of fire on Thursday.
UNIFIL peacekeepers report that so far today, 143 trajectories of projectiles were observed. Of these, 119 were attributed to the Israeli Defense Forces, with the remainder to Hezbollah. Yesterday, 364 projectile launches were observed, of which 330 were attributed to the IDF and 34 to Hezbollah.
A cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 16 and 19 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North right at the double-decker section. Please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic in Melville along Berry Herzog Avenue. This is just as you approach Judith Road due to a major accident scene.
The top story this hour, 4 people have been shot dead in another suspected gang-related attack in Cape Town.
We at Monument Dental are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed Insurance FSP. TCs and information online.
Energy reform is beginning to stabilize supply, but South Africa is not yet out of the woods. The Industrial Development Corporation offers energy solutions for industrialization by financing large-scale energy infrastructure projects to generate change with the IDC, the Industrial Development Corporation. Visit idc.co.za for funding now.
The XXL Savings Championship is here, and with Checkers, everyone can save. Get deals like Lancewood Cheddar or Gouda cheese, 900 grams for $129.99. Baker's Mini Cheddars or biscuits, 200 grams, any two for 75 Rand. And Vaseline body lotion or cream, selected variants, 400 mils for $54.99. Valid until 21 June, only at Checkers.
In today's top stories:
trade tariffs,
droughts,
housing crisis,
the Middle East,
AI,
fuel crisis,
hunger crisis.
Current affairs affect your financial future. Unpredictable times call for a disciplined financial partner you can trust to deliver real value consistently. Reliable, trusted. Whatever hits the headlines, it's what makes us proudly predictable. Visit psg.co.za. Affiliates of PSG Financial Services, a licensed controlling company, are authorized financial services providers.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Focused on companies that are listed on the JSE. So what normally happens when a company or an entity doesn't give the information that you insist that it gives?
There are real consequences if a company fails to produce financial statements. So there's obviously engagements that we've got with the company. We will publish a SENS announcement to the market to warn the market that this company is late with financials, and very importantly that there's the possibility that they may be suspended.
Andre Visser is the Director for Issuer Regulation at the JSE.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Rewards. Get double cash back depending on your rewards tier when an African team scores and wins at the FIFA World Cup 2026, courtesy of Visa. Use your Absa Visa card at rewards partners on match days to score. Join Absa Rewards on the banking app. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. I think, Action SA is a good party. But I think now is the time for Herman Mashaba to move and get the people who can lead this party. Because Herman Mashaba is not the leader. He's not answering these questions. He's trying to discredit Ramaphosa. The questions that you are asking him are very clear, Bongani. He must answer those questions. But Herman Mashaba is not a good leader. He must leave people to lead this party. He cannot come on radio instead of answering questions and blaming people. You ask very simple questions. He failed to answer those questions. Abraham Shoshanguve, thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Herman Mashaba is dodging the ball. It's as if he came unprepared. He keeps on going to Palapana issue. He keeps on doing this and that, everything and anything but addressing the questions that are posed to him. Oh my goodness, a man without a plan but seeking greatness. No, man.
By Bongani, Herman, when I was the mayor, Mashaba, he's always reminding everyone in every interview that when he was the mayor for the DA, reminiscing back to his days when he was someone significant in the DA. I think you should let go of that a little bit.
Good morning, 702 family. Bonks, Abatung. Next time, help leadership send the questions before the interview. I'm a bit disappointed at the response and the responses you got from him.
Hi, Bongani, how are you? It's so sad, man. All politicians are using foreigners as a scoring point. And listening to Mashaba, it's scary that this guy at one point became a mayor. He doesn't even answer there. When you ask him about the wrong or the rightfulness of people asking for IDs, he just diverts to Pala and all this. It's so sad.
Bongani, Herman will not see my vote just by virtue of calling you Polani.
I don't know how many times you have corrected the man. He keeps on calling you Bongani. I was waiting for him to slip up. He will not see my vote just for that reason.
Oh, but the names do sound the same, don't they? Bongani, Xolani. Yeah, they do. Shame, man.
EWN Sport.
This EWN Sport brought to you by Checkers. The final whistle hasn't blown on big savings yet. The Checkers XXL Savings Championship continues with new deals every week, only at Checkers. Sandy, did you watch?
I'll wait.
Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Bongani. How are you today?
Always fine, always fine.
Fantastic.
You watched the game last night, yeah?
I did indeed. And though it was a cold winter's day, I was very grateful that my jersey wasn't as thick as what it was. Because when Tebogo Mokoena stepped up to take that penalty, I put my jersey over my face so I could watch it through my jersey. Because I was like, I want to watch this, but I don't want to watch this. So I'm listening to myself twice here. Half of me wants to, half of me doesn't.
Yeah.
My kids said, what do you think's going to happen? I said, the goalkeeper's going to save this. Afterwards, Tebogo Mokoena saying that, okay, let me give you the score. Bafana drawing 1-1 with Czechia last night in the World Cup.
Yeah.
They've kept their dreams alive. Let's hear from Mokoena himself.
I'm excited. The way we played, the way we showed up, we were brave. We are confident on the ball. We are also off the ball. So I think the team did very well today. And we can be proud of ourselves. Of course, the first game we didn't do well, but today I think the comeback was so good. I'm very proud of the team.
And he also added, when asked, he said he just kept thinking about his grandfather who wouldn't have been there to be able to watch him because he's passed. And I just thought, and as he was going to take the penalty, he thought of his grandfather, and I thought, oh, fantastic, the ancestors are on our side. We might make it to the second round. And somebody who's still optimistic that we will make the next round is, of course, Coach Hugo Bruce.
We played a very good game, and you need a little bit luck also sometimes in a game. But that was not the case today. When you shoot maybe through the legs or whatever, it was always a leg or a body who could block the shot. If we go on like that, and if we can make another performance like today, I think we have a chance to go in the second round.
Hey, those commentators made me nervous, hey?
The commentators, don't even get my family started on the commentators.
Yeah?
There's an American commentator who is driving us absolutely mental. Last night he said, after we had scored the penalty, Tebogo Mokoena, and obviously pronounced his name wrong, said that he carried the weight of the continent on his shoulders.
Yes, the whole continent.
And my kids started naming every other African
That's
side
in the tournament.
at the World Cup. And then he went on to talk about, it was in the first half, I think, or the second half, where he was talking about Ronwen Williams, the goalkeeper, and being the captain, etc., and how fluently he spoke in the press conference and how eloquently he spoke. And I was like, okay. Right? Oh, he spoke so eloquently about the team spirit and the hope and carrying a nation. And I was like, okay.
We don't speak English.
I'm going to forgive the American who probably doesn't have a passport. So, Bafana must beat South Korea on Thursday morning at 3 a.m. South Korea lost to Mexico today 1-0. Bafana won't have Mokoena for the match. He's suspended after picking up a second yellow card. Gruesome injury in the Canada game. Canada beating Qatar 6-0. Midfielder Ishmael Cohn broke his leg. Switzerland beat a 10-man Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. All 5 goals scored in the last 16 minutes of the match. Tonight, USA against Australia at 9 p.m., followed by Scotland and Morocco. Tomorrow morning at 2:30 a.m., Brazil plays Haiti. Big game in Dublin tonight, rugby, where Leinster's hosting the Bulls in the URC final. It's a repeat of last year's final, which Leinster won by 25 points. Here's Bulls captain Marcel Coetzee.
Every final is unique, particularly in last season's final. They just started very, very well. We kind of went out of structure, once the pressure started mounting. It's a new final, new opportunity. We've been blessed so far. And I think the biggest thing for us as leaders now is just driving the calmness and making sure we give direction for what's to expect. Just enjoy the occasion.
Kickoff tonight is at 8:30. Tomorrow, the Springboks open their season against the Barbarians at 3. US Open golf, the first round not complete after a hectic wind delayed the start. Wyndham Clark, who teed off in the afternoon, leads on 6 under, 4 ahead of the field, but has 2 holes to play. McIlroy finished on 1 under, that's 5 off the pace.
It's so tough. It's so difficult. I didn't feel like I hit 2
bad iron shots in the last 2 holes, and put myself in pretty difficult spots and wasn't able to get it up and down. But overall, a really good day.
At the Women's T20 Cricket World Cup, the Proteas have to beat India on Sunday. Only the top 2 sides from that group will go through to the semi-finals, and so far India and Australia are unbeaten. In men's Test cricket, New Zealand in control on day 2 of the second Test with England at stumps. England 222 for 6. They trail New Zealand by 169. And in Cape Town tonight, the FIH Men's Hockey Nations Cup. South Africa is playing New Zealand in the semi-final. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The final whistle hasn't blown on big savings yet. The Checkers XXL Savings Championship continues with new deals every week, like Lancewood Cheddar or Gouda cheese, 900 grams for $129.99, save 40 Rand. And Nescafe Classic Instant Coffee, 200 or 230 grams, any 2 for 219 Rand, save 71 Rand. Valid until 21 June, only at Checkers.
The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people. Sunday, 26 July, Babize Bonke, Babize Bonke, Babize Bonke, Babize Bonke, Babize Bonke. You want to get a taste of what the Walk the Talk will be like? This Sunday, Josie My Josie is having another Main Street Sundays, taking over Marshalltown. The idea is a whole street in the heart of the city, close to cars. It's just people and vibes, man. That Main Street magic. 702 Soulful Sunday with Kenny and Pushaza will also be there, broadcasting live from Main Street from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to josiemyjosie.com for all the details to grab your free ticket. And you can also register for the Walk the Talk at Main Street Sundays. Or just go now to primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Joburg. Babize Bonke, Babize Bonke. I almost said Josek, Josberg, Jansbeck.
Meet Abo, good South African and proud e-hailing driver. One day, he picks up passengers mid-fish and chips feast. Yo, sauce flying, vinegar spraying, then boom, tire taps out. Abo, chill. He's got budget insurance e-hailing cover with 24/7 roadside assist. So, no matter how saucy things get, Budget's got his back. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za. Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
EWN Traffic.
Let's wrap up the traffic for the morning, Amo.
Well, Bongani, we do have delays on the Mark 1 North. This is between the Crown Interchange and Car Street. And if you're traveling in Melville, unfortunately, that accident is still there along Berry Herzog Avenue. It happened right near Judith Road. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up. So please try to avoid this one. And then traveling towards Sandton, we've got delays in Parkmore. This is along Sandton Drive. Just as you come out of Winnie Mandela Drive, another accident reported there. More updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It's Powerball jackpot time. This Friday, a chance to win over 160 million Rand in total Powerball estimated jackpots. This is life-changing money that could be yours instantly. Catch the live draw tonight at 9 p.m. on ETV and SABC. You could become South Africa's next multi-millionaire. The National Lottery. More players, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizekaya.
Evolution doesn't wait. Introducing the Chang'an Uni S. Unexpected, unmistakable, uncompromising. Engineered to a higher standard, unlike anything in its class. Unsurprising, really, from China's oldest automaker. Trusted by 30 million drivers worldwide. And at $4,999 per month, it's an unbeatable offer too. Chang'an Finance, T's and C's apply. Visit chang'anmotors.co.za for more. The Chang'an Uni S.
Chang'an, driven to evolve.
When you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Nedbank is more than just a bank. We're a growth partner, Because we understand that real success happens when you're looking ahead, spotting opportunities others miss, and planning for tomorrow, today. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Coming up
On the Clement Manyatela Show.
on 702.
Clement Manyatela on your radio between 9 and 12. And he's here for the Friday edition.
Good morning.
Of the Clement Manyatela Show.
Yes.
What are we talking about at 11?
So, jeez.
What
Let's
open,
jump to 11?
what
Okay,
open line?
fine. At 11 o'clock.
What
on our-
hanging out feature?
On our relationship feature, we're going to be discussing what Netflix's The Polygamist teaches us about relationships. Did you watch it?
I'm still watching it.
Oh, yeah?
I am still watching it.
Okay. Well, I finished it on Tuesday, and yeah, quite interesting. So,
have you met any Jonases? Do you
no,
know any Jonases?
maybe I met Jonas. No, I'm not, and I haven't met any. But I think I know a few. So
All
that's
right,
what
we'll
we're
be
going to
listening
discuss
at 11
with Dudun Hlabati Madonsela, and then at 10 o'clock we're going to do our Across the Desk feature. Today we're doing a round table, a World Cup round table. So we'll be assessing Bafana Bafana's campaign. We'll unpack some of the biggest moments of this World Cup. But on the open line, there's so much to talk about. So we'll reflect on that match, Bafana match yesterday. We'll talk about this fight between IDEC and the SAPS. And we'll reflect on the MK Party's decision to expel Duduzile Zuma, Sambula, and Nhlamulo Ndlela.
Is there anyone still left in the MK Party?
I think only the former president.
Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12.
That's Amanda before she got naked. When the power tripped, Amanda felt more helpless than when her mom-in-law called her lasagna different. So Amanda got naked. She got car and home insurance at a lower premium and can now call an electrician anytime via the Naked app. There we go. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
This week on MasterChef South Africa, the top 6 are cooking for one of the biggest advantages left in the competition, an immunity bin. Oh yes, this week, the kitchen goes meat-free, waste-free, and it's seriously high stakes. The home cooks are introduced to the idea of root to leaf cooking, where every part of the ingredient matters.
So we're very excited. I'm sure you have something to tantalize our taste buds.
Oh, yes.
What do you have for us?
So, guys, we've created a dish with the humble carrots.
Wow.
Wow, what a creation. So, on the base, we've created a burnt butter and carrot skin crumble made with the carrot skins, toasted pumpkin seeds, and pecan nuts. On top of that, we have a carrot and kapokbos shortbread biscuit, a sheep's milk frozen yogurt with a burnt honey and carrot reduction caramel.
I'm looking at this dish and I'm thinking, don't let this be a recreation challenge because there's no way anybody can do this.
Catch MasterChef South Africa this Sunday, 6 p.m. on ETV. You can stream it on evod.co.za.
This winter is a cold one. Keep the heat in and the cold out with Cash Build. Save on electricity and keep your home warm with our top quality ceiling insulation. Plus, upgrade to our energy efficient geysers and geyser blankets to keep your water hot for longer, especially in the mornings. Don't turn into an ice block this winter. Head in-store to your nearest Cash Build for quality insulation and energy-efficient geysers. Cash Build.
702.
This weekend.
Means so much going on this weekend. We're, of course, looking forward to the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. And to give you a little taste, this Sunday on Father's Day, Main Street in Marshalltown shutting down to traffic for the return of Main Street Sundays. And the idea is to turn the CBD into a shared space. Walking, cycling, skating, markets, family activities. Dawn Robertson is the creative economy catalyst at Josie My Josie. Good morning, Dawn. This Sunday is going to be fantastic, isn't it?
It's going to be Bongani. It's going to be a bit on the cold side, but we've made contingencies. There's going to be lots of warm drinks and soups and stuff and amazing activities to keep you warm.
This is the second one. I think 5,000 people showed up last time.
5,000 people last time, and we're hoping to get the brave people to come out this time because it is a little bit colder. But it's also Father's Day, and all the activations along the streets, all the market vendors are all taking this into account and creating opportunities and real amazing experiences for fathers on the day, and fathers and kids on the day.
So if you haven't yet bought your gift and you don't want socks and ties and hankies, maybe you might find something.
Yes, and even the photographers are setting up photo booths so you could do family portraits, and it's going to be just phenomenal.
All right, talk to me. I arrive on Main Street on Sunday. What do I actually see, hear, and feel?
Okay, so let me walk you through it, okay? So we shut down Main Street all the way from 44 Main, the old Anglo-American head office, all the way up to Gandhi Square. So last time we didn't activate Gandhi Square. This time we are doing amazing things on Gandhi Square as well. So maybe let me start backwards. On Gandhi Square, we have all our skateboarding organizations, and they are going to be doing the most they've got the really advanced skateboarders, but they're also going to be teaching kids how to skateboard. So it's people like Skaterstan who are actually based in the inner city and particularly teach young girls and little girls to skate. So they up there, we've got a vinyl and thrift market with the DJs playing vinyl records. We've got games like basketball, and in that street where people can play, and then you cross over Rissik into the Main Street corridor. Proudly South Africa are joining us, and they're doing a big pop-up with a lot of Proudly South Africa companies. We've got DJs at Capello's. All the restaurants along the way have all got specials, Father Day specials as well. So from Gandhi Square, you've got a lot of your franchises like Nando's, etc., that are all doing specials for the day. And then the restaurants along Main Street are doing the same thing. We are also bringing in, there was a lot of requests for some food trucks, and obviously our focus is on local businesses. So we are bringing in 2 or 3 food trucks just to fill the gaps, but also just to ensure that people don't have long waits like they did last time. But it is an alcohol-free event because it is actually children-friendly. Our children's zone, we are again bringing down museum, the Children's Museum, Play Africa. They'll be setting up in the area around Sadie's and the Hanging Building. It's an enclosed, very safe area. There are other organizations that work with children in the city that will be doing things there. We've got a makers market besides the thrift market and vinyl market that we have up on Gandhi Square. We've got a makers market, and this is particularly, we call it our curated makers market because we work with local businesses where everything is handmade.
Sorry,
anything Chinese, yeah?
I thought I lost you there for a second, but I think it's clear. It's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Main Street, Marshalltown taking over, of course, the city. And the idea is to change how you see the inner city and how you can interact with it. You can simply go to Josie My Josie to get your free tickets. Dawn Robertson there, the economy, the creative economy catalyst at Josie My Josie.
702.
This weekend.
And guess who's paying tribute to Abdullah Ibrahim on Sunday?
Do you think we're not aware of the fact that, every aspect of our lives, is related to music? In sound. Is related to sound.
Sound. What we've lost is this disconnect between us and nature.
Mm.
If you go out on the street now and you ask 10 people, what is the phase of the moon right now?
That is, of course, the late, great Abdullah Ibrahim being interviewed by Nothemba Matumo. She'll play you some of that and the great music. And she has a really fascinating personal story of meeting the legend when she was but a youngster herself.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And the man himself is back. It's his show. It's him in the studio. It's his name. The Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. Today promises to be an eventful day at the Madlanga Commission as tainted KwaZulu-Natal Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. Today promises to be an eventful day at the Madlanga Commission as tainted KwaZulu-Natal Hawks boss Lesitsha Senona is expected to return to the hot seat. Senona has been placed at the center of several controversies, including a multi-million rand drug theft